Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to the channel. Today we are finally completing our wrestling list, A through Z of our favorite wrestlers per letter. Sadly, we are down a man. We tried really hard to get everybody together for this because it was 3 hours long, I believe, the last time, but sadly did not come to be. So three of us will be taking it from here. Maybe I'll put his favorite ones in like the description or something like that, so we at least get those in there. But yeah, that's sadly we're down to 3, but it's okay. We are going to be starting with O to Z, and we're going to start with the Mixed Raccoon. This is the Mixed Raccoon right up here. This is KaiParasite, and I am the TheParaFlyer. If you guys have not subscribed to the channel yet, please make sure you do so. I do want to do more videos like this. We slacked. And heads up too, the first one was done in, I believe, the end of May. It's now December. So there's a big gap between the two videos. You'll see us talking about freaking WrestleMania and stuff like that. We're almost at the Royal Rumble now for this one. So
yeah.
we're there's a big gap between the two videos, but regardless, I don't think any of our answers have changed, and I don't think it's gonna matter that much.
Same list.
Yeah, I have the same list. So
my O is Dean Ambrose.
Dean Ambrose, right?
Or CM Punk.
Right. Yeah.
Dude, you like, we can't see your paper. Just
Yeah, it just disappears. Dean looked like John C. He's holding John Cena because you couldn't see it. That's why.
Yeah.
Yo, Cena fixing to be coming back though.
He is in 3 weeks. Yeah, it's 3 weeks now.
Messy room reveal.
Sadly, you know, Kuhn's S fixing to be taking that L on January 6th.
Mm-hmm. Also,
tribal chief.
I think before we start, I'm gonna say, with Cody Rhodes being injured, quote unquote, probably storyline injury. If I need my boy Randy Orton to win that damn title, I need him to win it so we can get John Cena versus Randy Orton at WrestleMania.
We're definitely in storyline to set up that KO rematch.
Well, yeah, the KO wins the title, then he has to have his rivalry with Randy Orton because they have to fight.
Yeah, I can see that.
And Randy wins the title, and then and we get WrestleMania. John Cena wins his 17th against Randy Orton, and he drops the title 2 weeks later.
I don't know if it'd be received well, but part of me kind of thinks Randy's winning the Rumble to set up a Randy Cody Mania.
You know, John Cena is actually the favorite to win the Royal Rumble. I don't see it.
Yeah, I wouldn't be able to see either.
Yeah, all right. Okay.
I mean, you know, I don't know where they're going yet because you still got Dwayne there, and
yeah, they still want to. Well,
I don't see the vision yet.
Well, they said that Dwayne Johnson's probably not gonna be at WrestleMania because he has all his stuff. I'm getting sick of him, bro. We putting you in storylines, and then you're gonna go do a movie instead. Are you dead ass?
Yeah, he's working.
Bro showed up at Bad Blood for what? For a pop. That's it. He showed up for a pop. Yeah, he ain't been back since then.
Yeah, this is true.
God, they literally said it's just to pop a rating, bro. Come on now.
Let me say, Cena Gunther, that would slap. I wouldn't be against it.
That would slap.
And Gunther finally get an important feud besides feuding with the walking, talking pin himself.
That's true. That's Kuhn's boy right there.
Who?
The walking, talking pin.
Win Balor.
Yeah.
No, that's not my boy.
That's your boy.
Your W, Win Balor.
Isn't he was your F, if I remember. Win Balor.
No, it was actually Ray Phoenix.
No, it definitely was Finn Balor.
Yeah.
I have it written down.
Yeah, fuck you.
All right, let's get.
I have the VOD. Fuck you.
All right. What you rocking with your O?
The only L that you could rock, honestly. Oh my.
Oh, we didn't have the same answer. I forgot. I forgot.
Oh my god.
Homo sapien. I forgot he was an Homo sapien.
Yes, sir. I'm sick, so I'm not gonna get too into it, but Omos is a god.
He's a god. That's it, right?
That's it. Anytime I watch him wrestle, I'm entertained thoroughly.
He is a tag team champion with my boy
he's
AJ
a great
Styles.
superstar.
he's also hella into anime, so
He's so
Yeah,
funny.
he also met Uncle
dude,
Ruckus.
he's so
so-
funny.
Yeah, he's hilarious. We haven't seen him in a long time.
They don't know what to do with him since he don't have his
Well,
manager
you'll see
anymore.
him in the Rumble. Don't worry, and he'll win it.
I don't know who.
By
Oh,
win,
God.
you mean
Here comes
you mean
Omar coming out number 30. Oh my God, he kicked everyone out.
you mean 8 people jumping on him at once?
Yeah, and he does the fucking
The big show
Superman.
goes, "Ah," like that, and everybody fucking-
Yeah,
God, it's so
he has
funny.
that aura.
Right.
Yeah, his
Right.
aura. That's my
Well,
boy Omar. So.
I do laugh when I see Omos, so
Yeah,
you got a
he's-
point there.
It's funny watching him try and be like a super scary big man, but then outside of the ring, he's like a freaking teddy bear. It's so funny. He just
Omar?
laughs all the time.
Seeing
Yeah, I
him
think
meet
at this
Uncle
point
Ruckus
they just look
is
at him and they're like, he's so big, we'll just put him in every battle royal imaginable.
Yeah.
Yeah. We need Omos
what I
versus
want.
Braun Strowman.
I was
Like
gonna
a-
say,
like
don't
a
worry,
rematch.
Omos will return and beat Carmelo next.
Me, Omos versus Rey Mysterio.
Dude, they
Oh,
might have
yeah.
done that during the. Did Omos and AJ feud with Ray and Dominic when they were the tag champs?
No,
I
because
kind of think they did.
I don't think they did because that was Raw and SmackDown.
Oh, they were
but-
on different
Yeah,
brands.
they're on different brands.
I thought they were both Raw at the time, but it's been a long time.
Is-
My mind could be
Yeah, because
everywhere.
I think Ray and Dominic won the SmackDown titles before they got unified again, and that was about the time that AJ and Omos had the. Well, that was pandemic-ish. I think AJ and Omos won it like after WrestleMania, if I'm correct. I don't know. It all once you hit pandemic era, it all blends together at the point.
No, it definitely blends together.
Oh. All right, Kai, what you got for O? I think we got the same person
Oh,
here.
I got Orange Cassidy.
Yes,
for,
sir. Orange juice, man.
I mean, I'm just entertained when I see this man. It's just the act blends together so
Mhm.
perfectly between the fake kicks and then the serious act. He blends it just so well that I'm just
Oh.
thoroughly entertained when I see this man.
Before the
And I
video,
wish
you
him-
two were talking about the two O's being Omos and Orange Cassidy.
Well,
Right.
you gotta throw Owen in there.
Yeah.
know.
No,
Owen
you guys
Hart.
were specifically talking about Orange Cassidy and Omos, but you said there are two O's. There are obvious.
Right. That's definitely where we were
I
going.
forgot about Omos. I'm gonna be real. But
Yeah,
yeah, I
I
got
was
Orange
sure.
Cassidy.
He's unforgettable.
Well, I forgot about him.
Well, you have dementia. You said that.
all
to me.
right. All right.
And Kai might have it. He's getting up there. Yeah.
I am getting up
Hey,
there.
you're getting
in
up there too, buddy.
Yeah, but I don't have dementia. I didn't forget Omos.
age.
Well, yeah. Shout out to Owen Hart. I did not pick him because I didn't really watch wrestling back then. So
I
to
was
keep-
I was a WCW kid back then.
yeah. So to kind of keep the theme, but he's probably the most skilled out of all of them, but not my favorite. It is definitely Orange Cassidy, and I love the kicks. I love the whole gimmick. Honestly,
Man.
he just the lazy thumbs up. But he has so much talent that it makes it fun to watch him when he does bust out all those moves. Beach break.
And his fucking great reign with the Continental title.
Yeah, and his godly. Nobody does it better. Orange Punch. I
I
mean,
mean, a lot of those mid-title reigns in AEW feel very forgettable.
mhm.
But his was definitely one of the few that wasn't.
You can't forget the Orange Punch. It's so godly that even Roman Reigns had to adopt it for himself. Yeah, it's a
I wish
godly
he used the Sunny D and teabag people.
punch. That would be great. That would be great.
I would die. I would die if that became a thing.
The Sunny
think-
Delight.
Do you think he's gonna win the title? He's feuding with Mox right now. isn't he?
No. I don't, because if he was, he would have won it in the singles match.
Mhm.
I'm kind of like annoyed with that storyline because I don't know where it's going. I feel like
Yeah.
Mox like is holding the belt hostage, but I don't know what the end game is. It's like they don't tell us anything.
I think Darby Allin's the end game.
I think Darby's the end game too, but I'm like, it's like, is he working for a higher power or not? You haven't told me this yet.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, y'all don't run the show anymore. We run the show. I was like, y'all come out and beat everyone up every week.
I wish they would perceive Darby Allin more like Sting. Kind of like
Yeah.
Like he was already under him for like 2 years. It would have been nice to like pass that mantle for him to be like a loner kind of outlaw kind of guy, you know what I'm saying? But
it's very weird that they like had Darby close the pay-per-view and then put him in the Continental Classic instead of the world title picture.
Yeah.
I've also come to the realization, at least for me, that AEW is at its most interesting when Hangman's doing something interesting.
Yeah, that's very true.
Like, he's just a good character.
Isn't he teasing right now a turn or something like that?
He's like he's in that world title picture, like him, Switchblade, and Orange.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know if he's supposed to be face or heel. All I know is when you get the crazy cowboy on there.
Yeah, he's definitely a bright spot. I think I was wrong. It's Darby Allin's not the end game. It's our boy Christian Cage.
Dude, I hope.
End game. Isn't that right,
kid?
Dude, that's our boy.
I'm really interested to see where they go because I'm like, well, this is the first time you've done something like this.
Think about it, Darby wins the title,
and then Christian cashes
but then he comes out and ruins it all. Exactly, that'd be godly.
Like I would think like the end game is like Luchasaurus would cost him or something, but that dude's like not healthy.
Yeah.
So now I'm like, oh, Christian's got to win the belt. It's gonna be God tier when it happens.
He's got to win the belt, yes, sir. Finally, he'll be on top of the world once again.
Oh, I can't wait for it. It's gonna be glorious.
Another honorable mention for would have been Okada, probably.
Yeah, well,
yeah, I think
I used him. I used him for K. I used him for the golden letter.
Yeah, Kazuchika Okada.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Yeah.
That man is a god, though.
But Orange Cassidy, definitely.
Yeah. Oh my.
Yeah.
I agree.
All right, let's move on to the P's, which I'm excited for. But this will be for Mr. Parasite himself.
Oh, I got you. It's actually funny we were talking about the Blackpool Combat Club because I wrote Pac down.
Ooh.
Yeah, dude. Like he's had a bit of a unlucky like visa injury run in AEW.
Mm.
But watching that man in NXT, like, instantly became a fan of him and Sammy's feud. Oh, yeah, when he was Neville, like
Neville.
Adrian Neville in NXT.
Neville
when I started watching, like, he was the champ.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he was the ace down there. He was the guy. And, even nowadays, he still puts on good. He plays a lot better heel. Every time I see this dude, I'm like, oh, this dude is psycho.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, no, I've just always been a big fan of his high-flying style. I think he can do ground game well. Can do high-fly game well. I just am very entertained when Pac is on the screen.
I'm glad you remembered him, because it seems like Gravity forgot about him.
But yeah, I couldn't think of many P's, and I was like, yo, I've always been a fan of my boy Pac, so put him on the list.
I actually like him a lot more in AEW than I did in WWE because he has more of that darkness to him, where I always felt like when he was Neville, it was like he's just that baby face that just couldn't get over, kind of like a mid-card act. Where if
they also had him doing the whole Mighty Mouse thing for a little bit.
Yeah, and
there was definitely a point between like NXT to main roster where like the hype disappeared.
Yeah, so I'm glad to see him in. I think my favorite match of him is Kenny versus Orange Cassidy versus Pac. Was it Double or Nothing? I think for all the titles.
Yeah. I personally like his 30-minute Iron Man match with Kenny on Dynamite.
Yeah, that one was really good too. Yeah,
it was so good. And when he debuted in AEW, like he beat Kenny on his first pay-per-view.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think anybody expected him to win.
Yeah.
And then he put in the brutalizer, and it was
He was a part of the 7-game series too, right? For the trio titles
Mm-hmm.
with
Him and the Lucha Bros with
yeah.
Death Triangle.
Yeah, as I said, I think I've only ever seen him wrestle in tag matches on AEW.
He's been doing some singles work here and there. I think he recently
He's the first
fought
ever.
He recently fought Orange Cassidy in a singles.
Isn't he the
And he's the
first
first
ever
ever Continental
Yeah,
Champion.
I liked the Continental Championship when it first came out because he was going to all like the different promotions and
Yeah.
stuff like that with the title. So
Like I said, he's also had some visa issues with his AEW run, and he got injured for a while.
yeah,
Like pandemic time, I think he was injured most of that time.
yeah, I don't really remember him during that time because he came back around the time that the Double or Nothing match happened, if I'm correct.
Yup.
So, yeah, no, that's a really good pick. I like that one. I'll go ahead and start because this one is one of my favorite wrestlers of all time, which is kind of, I guess, controversial nowadays, but it's Paige. So Paige is one of the reasons why I watched wrestling so much in the mid 2010s. I watched her in NXT. I think that's really when it kind of like started to go off because she had those really, really good matches with Emma. She became the first ever NXT champion. Then I'll never forget. I think I shed a tear. I shed some tears when she came to the main roster. I was a little mad. It's like, why is she not out here with her NXT belt? She's talking to AJ Lee, and then all of a sudden there's a title match, and like 4 minutes later she's walking out the Divas champion, bro. I lost it. I couldn't believe that actually happened, and that whole rivalry with AJ Lee, which turned into them having a tag match against the Bellas at WrestleMania. I was really sad that she had to relinquish the NXT belt, which was one of my favorite designs at the time, after she won the Divas title. But I was a huge Paige fan. I bought every single bit of merch that she had in the WWE shop. There were these Paige gloves I used to wear to work. I get freaking made fun of. I did not care. I love those things. I had the
Do they have the P on 'em?
bracelets. Yeah, they have the P on them. They had the bracelets. I had every single shirt that she had. I actually still have a couple now. I have her necklace, which I still have to this day. And I think she's actually the big reason why I went to the 2015 Royal Rumble. One of the worst pay-per-views of all fucking time. Because I went there to see Paige in person. And not only, this doesn't count the whole fucking Roman Reigns thing. Her match, she didn't even tag in. At a fucking pay-per-view, she came out, they did the entrance, she was in a tag match, and she didn't even get tagged in. And I was like, oh, today's gonna suck, isn't it? Little did I fucking know, we still had a whole Rumble match to watch. Man, I did get to see one of the best matches of all time, which was John Cena, Brock Lesnar, Seth Rollins. My memory's a little phasey,
No,
but
that's it.
that
That's
is
triple
for the
threat.
title. Yeah, that was the only bright spot of the whole fucking day.
Oh yeah, I see Roman.
And
yeah,
I will never forget Paige's debut.
yeah,
Like the night after Mania, Big Raw, comes out, beats AJ Lee in like 30 seconds.
yeah. It's one of
Like my jaw was on the ground.
I can't think of another person who debuted and won the main title. Like, I just can't. I remember the other person I remember is Carlito winning the United States title against John Cena
Yeah.
in his first match. But like,
There's a few people like
and
I remember,
Santino
well, I remember-
Marella.
Yeah, Santino.
Oh
Bobby
hell yeah!
Lashley in the
Santino,
Intercontinental.
my
But
boy.
those are mid card titles. Like the Divas
Yeah,
title
yeah,
is
yeah. This
still
was like
the top, which
the
is
main
insane.
title.
Yeah.
I will say when I went and seen Dynamite, I got to see Saraya.
Oh, you did. Yeah,
Yes.
when she came back, I couldn't believe it. I was like, oh my god, she's back. And then when she won the title at All In, I'm like the only person that was happy about that.
I was actually shocked that we got a Saraya singles match
Yeah,
on the card. I was like, he don't do a lot of singles matches.
yeah, I think definitely time has gotten to her not like the ring rust. It's kind of hard to shake off when you're not doing anything and then you just come back. And I won't.
He lost. I don't remember who she fought, but she lost.
Mhm. But yeah, Paige has been. I'll always be a fan. She's one of my. She's probably my favorite women's wrestler. She's up there. I'll say at least top 3. Might be number 1 if we count like if we're talking time periods. And she's the inspiration for my logo, like the TPF logo as the Harley Quinn diamonds with the diamonds. Those are Paige inspired diamonds in there because I had the P in there. So like I was always just a huge fan of her, and I will to this day. What can I say? And she's still my fantasy football logo with the helmet. It's the purple helmet with the Paige logo because it works for me. So yeah, Paige is definitely like one of my favorites of all time, regardless of people they don't like her nowadays or whatever and stuff. So yeah, that's my P's. And go ahead, Kuhn. What do you got for us, bro?
Oh, I have a god. Let's see if you can see it. Can you see that?
PCO.
PCO.
Yes, sir.
PCO is a god.
Is a god. I don't care about any storyline he's in. I just want to watch the man wrestle because that dude is like 50 something doing flips off the turnbuckle, getting fucking shit stabbed into him, being lit on fucking fire. That motherfucker is a psychopath with a death wish, and he is one of the most fun fucking wrestlers I've watched in Impact ever. So.
I don't know if he's still doing stuff with Impact. The last time I seen him,
is, I believe.
Last time I seen him, he was like marrying Steph DeLander, and Cardona came back.
Yeah, he
I was
polls.
like, oh, are we getting a Cardona PCO match?
PCO canonically polls too, so you know.
Right. Yeah, he's 56 years old right now. And I didn't know this until I think a couple weeks ago that he was in the Quebecers tag team in the freaking 90s.
WCW.
Yeah.
I think, right?
Yeah, that was WCW. And then he was part of the Amazing French Canadians in WWF where he won the tag team championship 3 times.
Dude, even now, that man's still very entertaining.
Fucking amazing.
Yeah, because I was like looking up, because I knew he was big in Ring of Honor. So I was like looking him up. I was like, I wonder if he ever wrestled the WWF. And then I looked, I was like, oh my God, not only did he do that, he did WCW. What the hell?
Dude, that man is still doing like front flips off the top rope, like going through shit all the time.
He's a fucking monster.
Yeah, the world title match against Moose, I think it was. He was gushing blood. Man, he had the staples and everything, man.
Yep.
I was like, dude, this man's a freak.
Yep. I fucking love him. He's amazing.
He is. He's kind of like a...
Dude, I'll never forget his match with Gallows, with Luke Gallows, when he went through the ring. They both go through the ring, and he, like, Frankenstein comes up, like, out of the ring. I was like, damn, this is amazing.
Who do you have? He had a last man standing match with Eddie Edwards too, I think.
Yeah, I think it was Eddie.
Because he was feuding with him and Alicia.
Because Eddie kept running him down in the system.
Yeah.
Kept saying, "You're stupid, PCO. You can't do nothing right."
Remember Bully Ray and Eddie tried to kill him? They trapped him and they lit him on fire.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's lit on fire.
Yeah.
Like, this motherfucker's been through hell.
Dude.
And he's like,
insane.
I got one more in me.
Yeah, but he keeps having one. Yeah, he pulled Steph DeLander too. And did
him and Cardona ever actually have a match?
I don't know if they did.
That might have been because I think that's when Cardona was coming back.
Yeah, I think so too. That's a little hazy for me. I just remember him and Steph doing storyline stuff together. And then I remember him picking him up and walking away with her. Like,
yeah,
he's a god. He pulls canonically. You're not wrong.
Yeah, he's canonically pulled.
That's a good pick. Yeah, he's a culture icon in Parendale. Because I remember Bull Bean always wants to see him wrestle too. So, yeah, good pick. Good pick. Well, I guess I'm stuck with Q. There's not many. So I went...
Did you do the workaround?
I guess so. I went with Queen Charbel.
No, see that's the workaround. You take
That's
a
her
queen.
name. Her name is Queen Charmel. If you would have put King Booka for K, I wouldn't have stopped you. That's their name.
Yeah, there's a few queens you could use. That's why.
Yeah. I went with Queen Charmel because that's kind of when I started watching Ruthless Aggression era, King Booka and Queen Charmel, and that World Heavyweight Championship run. So there's not too much to say. I do appreciate her for what she did, and definitely knowing her role, because I feel like
Oh,
whenever I
trust
think
me.
when I-
If you've seen her in the ring in TNA,
yeah,
you
yeah,
definitely understand the ballet role.
yeah. So I think my favorite thing with Queen Charmel is definitely the stuff with the boogeyman. That's like the first thing that I think of is the
Yeah,
boogeyman.
that stuff was gold.
Yeah, and then the feud with Kurt Angle and stuff like that. But yeah, she's definitely a really good manager. Uh,
Dude, we don't get good managers nowadays. So.
Yeah, I'll give a
Looking back,
shout
it's-
out when you say it because I think I know who you're picking for Q. I probably would switch. I think if you asked me in a couple years, I'd probably switch my answer, but I think I'm gonna stick with Queen Charmel for now. So all right, Kun, you're up. Oh, I think you're muted.
His mic's acting up.
Oh no, we've lost a man on.
Oh wait.
Oh, that's my mic.
There
There
you
he
go.
is.
There you go.
I'm happy that I see the workaround now because I didn't want to put the initials down here. I also have a Queen Zelina.
Queen Zelina.
Yes, sir.
Um,
I like Zelina anyway, so that works perfectly fine with me. Her match with Io, I think it was in where was it? Puerto Rico.
no, they both. Io fought
Dude,
Bianca.
Oh yeah, no, she fought Bianca. That's right. Yeah, no.
Yeah, Queen
They
Zelina
both
fought
got
Rhea
popular, but
Ripley.
that match was fucking pog. That's probably the highlight of Zelina's matches that I've seen.
Mm-hmm.
see, it's crazy because I miss Zelina as a manager. I remember
With
when she first came
Andrade.
around managing Andrade,
Mm-hmm.
like during like when they really pushed Andrade in NXT. That was like my favorite version of Zelina because she would get involved in his matches and like hit the head scissors,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like stuff we weren't seeing at the time. So I was like, "Oh, this is cool."
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I shed a tear when Andrade came back and he was doing the which side am I gonna be on, and then he joined the LWO for that match, and then they both hugged because they like stood there and looked at each other real quick and then hugged.
Yeah,
I was like, beautiful, beautiful. It's little shots like that tug at you. So
Sadly, I don't know if Zelina's doing much on the main roster at the moment.
she was like recently in the world title picture.
Yeah, I think she was. Was she in the? She'll probably be in the Intercontinental
I haven't been
tournament
able to keep up on.
Yeah, I don't think she's. I don't know if she's in it or not.
because she
If
wasn't in
she
the
is-
U.S. She wasn't in the U.S. title.
Well, no, she's definitely on Raw because she's still
Yeah.
LWO. She might be hurt or something at the moment. I don't know for sure though, because she when I that SmackDown show I went to, Zelina and Liv were the Raw match that we got.
Oh hell yeah, that's a banger match.
Yeah, no, it was a good time. And first queen of the ring when they like brought it back.
So
I
she.
think she was the first.
Who could forget her? What is it called? The Chonkla, the little fucking.
Yeah, the Chonkla.
Yes.
Very entertaining. And when she sets up those entrances.
So she
Mhm.
was in the tournament, but she lost to Lyra Valkyria.
I see.
Yeah.
Mm.
I haven't kept up that closely with Raw lately.
I wish that feels like the perfect title for her. I'm kind of sad she's not in the finals at least, but still.
I kind of think Lyra's winning that tournament.
I think so too. Well, it'd be nice to see Dakota Kai win that too.
It's okay though, because
Also-
my girl Chelsea won the other
I'm
tournament.
a little
and I
bit
was
biased because
very happy.
because she cosplayed Jury in that one match.
She
the
did,
Royal
and it was the Rumble.
She also did Elisa from Tekken.
Yeah, she's done Elisa from Tekken.
She
Yeah,
did
that one's
Vega.
not as
She
important.
did Vega too, if I'm correct. Yes, I
That's what I'm
love.
Yeah,
saying, dude. When she puts in some cosplay work, it's
That Jury fit. That's fine.
Yeah, I like that she comes out and cosplays because I know them
That's
all.
his gas.
I'm
Yeah,
like
no,
looking at
that's
them, I'm
his
like,
gas.
yo, and they,
They're
like,
always like fighting game characters.
yeah, I know them
I
all.
wish more wrestlers did shit like that, bro.
Yeah, like when Sasha did the
I mean,
Sailor
the only
Moon
other
one.
one that really does it
Like
is
when
like
Ricochet was
New
All
Day.
Might.
But I mean, I feel like Kill New Day. We ain't about to see that shit anymore.
No, we're not.
Remember when Ricochet was All Might?
Yeah,
Yeah.
dude. Cedric had My Hero merch gear for a while too. He's not ever on TV, so you wouldn't know. But one of the shows I went to, like Cedric was in the main event opener,
Mm-hmm.
and he had like the Cedric Alexander, but it was like the My Hero flag.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, that's
AEW
dope.
AEW does a lot of cosplay stuff.
Yeah.
Because I remember
Dude.
Kenny and the Young Bucks came out as
I was gonna
Ryuken and
say,
Akuma.
I still think that the coolest interest I've seen all year was Kenny doing Sephiroth at Wrestle Kingdom last year.
Remember
Yeah.
Jade?
That entrance was
Jade.
so badass.
Uh,
I can't wait to see what Kenny cooks up this year.
Hikaru Shida came out as Ada Wong and
Dude,
Tifa.
Osprey,
Tifa.
Yeah.
Osprey got the Assassin's Creed treatment.
That shit was badass.
Yeah.
Remember we were in the call of Bulby and we were watching the Jade match and she came out cosplaying Jade from
Oh,
MK.
from Mortal Kombat?
Dude.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
that
peak.
shit was fucking. That shit was
Listen,
fire.
That was
I'm
peak.
gonna have to see. I'm gonna see if I can get the day off, but I want to take Wrestle Kingdom off. Like I need to see Kenny when he returns.
Yes, that's a boy. What day is
I,
that?
I'm, it's like it's normally 1st of January. It's like
Let me
January
see.
like 3rd.
But yeah,
Wrestle Kingdom.
Queen Zelina, the goat.
Thursday, January 4th.
I should have that day off. I only have
I
Thursday
should
nights
not,
off.
but
I should not. But I don't really
the
care.
show's like hella early. It's like the show's at like 5 a.m.
Oh, if it's Thursday at 5 a.m., then I won't. I'll be at work, sadly.
But we could just watch it afterwards.
Yeah, that's
'cause-
true.
Or just like on a day off or something. Yeah, because it's in Japan, so it's like
Yeah,
our
it'd be
time.
Wednesday.
That show's like hella.
Yeah. All right, we
Oh,
are done
Caleb.
with cues. Let's move on.
Caleb never get
I
his
didn't even
cue.
go, sir.
Oh wait, you haven't
but-
gone yet. I'm so sorry. Yes.
No,
But
you're
I'm
good.
pretty sure we know
Listen,
it.
We all know who it
I
is.
originally wrote Queen Charmel, but you know, I'm
No
going with the
disrespect.
true Q. I'm
Bring
going
the
with
doom.
go with the true Q, the god himself, QT Marshall.
Yes, sir. That's Kuhn's boy. I'm
Look,
surprised you didn't put
yeah.
him there. Yes,
I
sir.
mean, listen, I used to not think much of QT. Then me and Para watched him in AAA fight Pentagon in this crazy ambulance match, and I was like, "Yo, QT kind of he kind of has some wrestling in his bag."
He
They
does.
were like going through tables. They were like he was bleeding
They
everywhere. He
were-
had like the
yeah.
white America fit on.
They went out in the crowd and were whooping each other's ass. The tables
Yeah,
and
dude.
everything. Oh my god, that match was godly.
It was like one of the best matches. I gained a lot of respect for QT that day.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, not to mention, AEW hardly uses him, but when they do, he's fighting gods like Big Boom AJ.
And
the Rizzler.
The Rizzler. Yes, sir.
Like, I'm like, yo, QT very much knows his role. And you know what? I'm putting some respect on his name.
Mm-hmm.
So,
That's why I
You
said
know?
in a couple years, I think my answer might change. He has definitely
I-
grown on me from what we've seen so far.
like I said, they don't
Yeah.
use him too much anymore, but when they do,
Yeah, people
I'm
complain
glad,
about
I'm
it.
glad
I'm
he's
like,
not. I'm glad he's not doing the QTV stuff anymore. That stuff sucked.
wasn't he in the Nightmare Express? Was that the other thing he was in? Yeah, that's when I didn't like him.
Or the Nightmare Collective or something.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, that's when I started watching AEW, and I didn't really like that stuff. But that AAA match changed
Nah,
my
dude, that
mindset.
Triple H match, it changed stuff.
Yeah.
Him and Penta both. He like tore Penta's mask off. Penta's a bloody mess. He's a bloody mess. And QT won the match.
Yeah, he did. We were both sitting there like, "There's no way he won."
Yeah,
this
we were
match."
both sitting there. He like closes that ambulance door. We're like, yo, QT just won that? He took that like crazy Canadian destroyer like off the stage or whatever.
Yeah. What a god.
Like they went through like 3 stacks of tables. I'm like, oh dude,
Yeah, Kuhn.
this
If
is
you
wild.
gotta see that match, you'll change your answer real quick. Trust me.
Dude, like they had like this double stack of tables and Pinta like I don't remember what it was off
he
of.
was
It might
off
have
of
been
the
off the ambulance.
It was off the ambulance.
Yeah, he like hit a Canadian destroyer off the ambulance and took QT through like both stacks of table onto the sidewalk.
It was godly.
I was like, oh my god. I was
And
like,
he
I didn't
still
know.
got up and won.
Yeah, I looked at that. I was like, I didn't know QT had this in his bag.
Yeah.
But for those reasons, you know, I'm gonna put some respect on QT's name.
I like it. Yep. He's godly, Kuhn. You'll like it.
You know, I'm looking at my list right now,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm realizing how badly I fumbled on G.
On G?
I could have said Grayson Waller instead of
Yeah,
Gunther.
okay. Anyway, we're moving on to R. We're on R. Where were we?
R for raccoon.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yes, sir.
This is where we peak. Well, one peak. Am I
Oh
going
well,
first?
but this isn't your tribal chief's letter.
This is my tribal chief's letter.
No, you're a little early.
Yeah, you're a little early.
Yeah, you're a little bit early.
No. But yeah, I guess I'm not. Roman by God reigns. The GOAT.
That's not his name.
Yes, it is.
It's just Roman. The big
No,
dog.
it's Roman Reigns, the big dog, the tribal chief, the head of the table, the one, the only tribal chief. He's a god.
He's the original, but he's not.
Roman will be my favorite wrestler that I've gotten to watch for as long as I live, probably. He's not the most fucking flashy in the ring wrestler, but he's amazing in storyline. Okay. We only talk about Mr. fucking Solo with his wank ass theme song. But Roman's my boy. I liked him even when nobody liked him.
When
And
he was eating dog food and feuding with Baron Corbin.
Yeah, even when he was he was in the Shield, he was my favorite member all the time.
Even 2015 Roman where Rock's raising his hand. Why is everyone booing?
Yeah, it's godly.
I was there booing. I was there.
I was cheering. It was amazing. It was foreshadowing for when The Rock joined them, you know. But if you watch modern day wrestling, Roman's greatness speaks for itself. So, you know.
What was the exact day count? I couldn't tell you. 1100 something.
I couldn't tell you honestly. It was a long ass fucking time. I
I
remember when he beat Kelly Rose bitch ass the first time.
Ah, dude, I'll say that's a memory of Roman. Me and you were like, they can't resist doing the 1,000 days. And everybody else in the Discord call was like, "Oh, this is some bullshit." You were like,
it was
"Nah,
great.
this is a victory lap because we knew it was coming."
Well, they were planning on having him drop the title, and then I think Paul Heyman and Triple H went in there and said, "Hey, it's not time yet. We'll let him win the title, but next year we have a plan." And then that convinced them to change the outcome of it because they were going to pull the trigger. And then, because that was also the back and forth between Vince and Triple H taking power. Triple H was in power, and then Vince McMahon came back, and blah, blah, blah. And then it was all set in motion, and then The Rock had to come out and be like, "Hold on now.
I mean, dude,
I'm The Rock."
You see Vince strutting back there going, "I like Cody, but he's no Roman. Just look at him, by God."
Well, he's not
Just
wrong.
look at him, God damn it.
And you know, as I think Roman said himself, I remember this. I don't know where I remember it from, but I remember in a promo, he said that he is Midas and anything he touches is relevant. So ever since he set foot in this company, it's been relevant.
I also remember him saying "suffer and succotash."
Yeah, I also remember him
succotash.
getting cooked by John Cena on the promo. "I can do this
he won that
time better than you could ever do this full time."
Well, we've seen that obviously he can't because he can't stick to one storyline lately.
I don't like Roman from the majority of the time that he's been in the company. It's not his fault. Vince McMahon gave him blue
Oh wait,
contact
wait.
lenses.
I forgot one title. The Cancer Killer.
That is true. Yeah,
That is
that
true.
is true.
That's one of the most
Twice,
respected
twice, I
titles.
believe,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
He had leukemia, beat it,
Mhm.
then he got it again, beat it again.
Like the god he is.
Yeah. And it's never been a thing with Roman particularly. It's been the booking. It's been the Vince McMahon trying to shove him down our throats.
Thank God.
And like because I was also at WrestleMania 33 where he beat The Undertaker, which that should have been him breaking the streak if we were going to do that, which it wasn't. We gave that to Brock Lesnar. Should have been Bray Wyatt. Then it should have been Roman Reigns. Blah blah blah. Whatever. Right. I've been at the Royal Rumble where he won and we booed the fuck out of him. I've been at the WrestleMania where he beat Undertaker and we booed the fuck out of him. I was at the Raw after WrestleMania where we booed him for 7 straight minutes and then he just goes, "It's my yard now."
Yo,
Oh my
look,
god.
Yeah, he was
that
correct.
photo was cold.
Yeah. Yeah.
Those 4 words were
Hey.
cold.
I've been at so many title wins for him. There was the one where I think he won on a Raw after Sheamus won the title.
Yeah, it was like
Brother.
a month after.
Yeah, I was at that freaking Raw where he won the title. I was like, bro, I'm so sick of seeing this man win all the time when we don't want him to win. So it took me a long time for me to actually like Roman. I will say nowadays I very much enjoy his work, and maybe that's just because he finally got to be heel and have more control over his character. Because we gotta admit, the right before the tribal chief, remember his storyline was when fucking Baron Corbin and the dog food. Like, who thought
That
that
was a
was?
good storyline.
No, it wasn't. How can you say that? That's the reason he left. It's just
He doesn't have Roman in it. That's why
yeah,
it was
but
good.
it's the way he gets treated. Like, how are you gonna make Roman Reigns, one of your biggest stars, have a fight with Baron Corbin with dog food, bro? It's so
Hey,
ridiculous.
that was the
You
last
weren't
time
seeing the
he
bigger
got.
picture.
That's the last time he got pinned in a singles match until Cody pinned him.
Yeah, that was
like 4 years later.
shouldn't have been fucking Baron Corbin. I guess if there's a silver lining to it, it's that storyline was the reason why we have the tribal chief storyline and the bloodline, because he just had enough after that. He said, "I'm not doing this anymore. You're gonna give me control over my character. I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna be a heel." And when he did that, look at all the good things that have happened since then. So I think
now the people want to love him.
yeah, and it's because
I still feel like they're playing this like so smart too, where like he's
They're
done
really-
nothing to show that he's a babyface.
Yeah.
yet.
Yeah,
Like,
they're
he
really
hasn't
milking
changed.
it.
Yeah, I'm really interested to see what they do with this because he is the same person, but everyone's cheering him.
It's godly.
Yeah.
It's
Like
great.
he hasn't apologized for shit yet.
Yeah.
Like
Didn't he like kind of apologize to Jay?
yeah.
Because Sammy's like, I don't want the apology. I want you to apologize to him. And there was like a half-ass apology, and then he just said, "Yeet." That is it.
And I mean, and like I don't know, you're gonna get Roman and Punk down the line. They've already set it up.
Oh yeah, I'm rooting for Roman all the way. I just want you to know that. I will be the biggest Roman Reigns fan. I'll be bigger than Kuhn.
I don't think that's
I'll be a bigger fan than Kuhn when he fights CM Punk. Don't worry.
Are you gonna wear a matching Roman Reigns shirt?
Yeah, I'll buy one. Never forget, I have the entrance of him still on my clip.
I also have you singing Roman.
Yeah, you can bring that up when he fights CM Punk.
He's such a god. Yeah, word for word.
Yes, sir. All
I
right,
was- but
I
yeah,
will probably be
Roman-
rooting for Punk, but
There will
you
never
know,
be another Roman Reigns, and for that fact, he's one of my favorites. And
Why?
he's like the legend I got to watch in my lifetime, if that makes sense. Like people grew up with like the HBKs, the Triple H's, and stuff like that. I didn't grow up with any of them because I didn't get into wrestling until late.
yeah.
So Roman was kind of the guy along with my boy Ziggler, but he's not really as Hall of Fame worthy.
No, he is. He's the TNA World Heavyweight Champion.
But
Yeah.
Roman was the guy that I was like, yo,
Respect on him.
this is my guy. Like, you grew up, you watched John Cena, you grew up with him for a lot, so through the good and the bad, so you liked him in all those situations.
Yeah, see, that's one thing I'll give you credit for. You were a fan of Roman through the worst times, so you get to benefit from the best times.
That's so like he's my legend that I got to watch in my WWE experience.
Yeah.
Man,
So,
if you would have
he
been
will
around
always be
during,
my
if
favorite.
you would have been around during peak Shawn Michaels days,
Shawn Michaels is my boy too.
Kuhn's like best Shawn Michaels is bald Shawn Michaels. That's what I got to watch him.
Oh hell yeah!
Oh god, stop.
Shawn Michaels with the bald cut goes crazy.
All right, Kai,
Yeah.
what do you got for R?
I mean, it can only be one wrestler. It's my tag partner Ricochet.
Oh hell yeah, that's right.
I mean, dude, I went to Raw and he was fighting Nakamura in a falls count anywhere match. And Ricochet climbs up the rails, and I'm the guy holding him there so he can do the backflip off.
Yeah,
Comes up and he's like, I was just trying to stay out of his way. I was like, I don't want to
You still have the
don't want to
picture?
get anything on the top. Yeah, dude,
accessible?
he swipes everything off my lap. He's like, I need you, man. I'm like, oh, I got you, dude. And I hold him up, and he does the backflip, and there wasn't another answer for R after
I
that.
feel like if you have somebody come up and tag team,
Yeah, dude.
then you kind of have to put them up there.
Yeah, dude, me and Mook were there, dude. Mook was all getting excited. It would have been better if he wasn't in a Cowboys jersey, but he was in a Cowboys jersey.
I can forgive.
Can't.
Yeah. It's just for the
But,
just playing the crowd.
That moment alone, it just has to be Ricochet. And now, I mean, something that may interest Kuhn, it looks like after this Continental Classic, we're going to get Ricochet in Bobby's faction.
Yeah, he might be part of Bobby's boys.
Yeah,
yeah dude.
Bobby's boy.
Ricochet, Shelton, MVP, and Bobby.
It'll be Bobby's bullet because he ricocheted.
Right.
Let's go. Let's go.
Yeah, we're actually getting the good stable.
Also, like, I've told this story before. I went to an NXT event back in the day, and the main event was Ricochet, Lars Sullivan.
Oh God, that's an
Velveteen Dream.
Also, man.
And it was another big guy. I don't remember who it was off the top of my head. Another big guy though, because the big dudes took each other out. Ricochet is the most fluent wrestler I've ever seen live. Like, that man just don't make a mistake.
Mm-hmm.
He is just so good in the ring. Like, it's one of those people when you're watching him, you just feel like you're watching something special.
I can't forget all his bouts against Osprey. All those.
I've only watched that match one time. Not the recent one.
Oh, okay.
Not the new one. The old one. Just because I wasn't really watching New Japan at the time.
Mm-hmm.
My first exposure to Ricochet was actually freaking King Puma and Lucha Underground.
Jeez.
But yeah, no, dude, Ricochet's the man, and that's my R.
That's a good pick.
I'm trying to remember who was in that 4-way, and it's not coming to
I had
me.
2 honorable mentions for this as well, which were my boy Rey Mysterio, because he's one of the people that got me into wrestling early on, and our boy R-Truth, because you can't miss out on the Truth.
Ron the Truth Killings.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. NWA World Heavyweight Champion.
Very entertaining for very different reasons.
Yes, sir.
But this was my golden letter, so to speak, I guess.
Wait, you had a gold. What's your golden letter?
It'd be R with
Yeah, what's your second
Roman.
person? It's Roman and him?
Probably Ray or R-Truth. I don't know. It's a tie between those two. It's the
double. Letter. There you go, platinum letter. All right. I mean, Ray's an all-timer.
Yep, he's a god.
He's still, he's the locker room leader right now.
R-Truth is an all-timer too.
Yeah, that's my
Oh
boy.
shit, okay. I looked it up. The fourth person in that match was Killian Dane.
Oh my
Big
god.
Dano.
No.
Dude,
Whenever I
Big
think of
Dano's a
fucking
god.
Killing, whenever I think of Killing Dane, I just think of our WWE Sim League we did. Whenever you
Dude.
fucking Killing Dane up against Kane's bitch ass. And Kane just
Big
fucking
Dano's
murdered
a
him every
god,
time.
man. Dude, this was way back in 2018. Because, there was a lady on this show named Reina Gonzalez.
Is that Raquel?
That is Raquel.
Damn.
Yeah. I mean, dude, EC3 was on this card
Ah, yes, my boy.
in his very short stint with the company.
My boy
This
EC3.
randomly had, because this was the first show of the loop, so we had no idea they were going to be there, but Redragon defended the titles against FTR on the card.
Mm-hmm.
It was like the match before
That's a-
intermission.
Damn, that's a really good match.
Dawkins and Montez Ford defeat Steve
Oh,
Cutler
hell
and Wesley Blake.
Damn.
Yeah, this was like an old card. Cassius Ono defeats Coda
Oh,
Reeves.
hell yeah, my boy Cass.
Dude,
Oh, no.
Dude, Cassius knocked him out in like 30 seconds. Like the bell rang and like Reeves got in his face and Ono just went and it was the knockout punch. And Kyrie Sane and Nikki Cross
Oh,
defeat
hell
Reina
yeah.
Gonzalez
Kyrie
and Shayna
Sane.
Baszler. Dakota Kai was also on the card.
Damn.
Oh,
Dakota
hell
Kai
yeah.
defeat
Dakota Kai.
Kayanara Conti.
This was Lucha Underground?
No, this was an NXT show
Okay, yeah.
back in 2018. But yeah, Ricochet was in the main event, won the Fatal 4-Way. Crazy that this was an NXT show at the time with. It didn't have any of the big four at the time. Like, there was no Adam Cole, no Ciampa,
Oh yeah,
no
this
Gargano,
is...
and no Black.
Yeah, this is... I don't think I watched NXT that much back then.
Oh, I did. That used to be. That was my favorite brand there for a while.
It was really good, because that's about the time they did Survivor Series in NXT 1, if I'm correct.
It probably was a year or two after that.
Yeah,
More like when Keith Lee and Dijak and them came in. But yeah.
Yeah, that was... My golden years of NXT is like 2015 era.
This would have been shortly after that. This
Yeah.
would have been like once Adam Cole started coming in and
Mm-hmm. The Undisputed
Redragon
era.
was there. Kind of towards the back end of the golden era.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha. All right, well, I guess it's me for R. I was going to use my golden letter on R, so I'm just gonna give a shout out to Roxanne Perez.
Didn't we both use ours on
Yeah,
K?
yeah. But I'm just saying I was going to. This was the
I
other letter I
see.
was gonna golden letter because I wanted to put Roxanne Perez on there. So I'm gonna shout out her because she's probably my favorite women's wrestler right now with Cora Jade. But wrestling wise, it's Roxanne. However, we cannot, just like Cora Jade couldn't be on my C's because of a god tier legend in Christian Cage, I couldn't put Roxanne Perez over my boy Randall Keith Orton. That is my boy. Growing up watching him in Evolution, the Legend Killer, the Apex Predator, the Viper, bald-headed Randy Orton in 2009 was a straight menace, bro. I fucking to this day, I think for as long as I can remember doing this pose, it's just been glorious. Corday's not here, which I'm sad, because at work he calls me Brandy Orton. That is my nickname. The RKO, one of the greatest finishers of all time. It's one of those finishers that is not just iconic, but you can do it on anybody. That's what makes it so great. The memes, just him. I think he only held it twice, if I remember correctly. But I will always associate the World Heavyweight Championship with Randy Orton, not the WWE one. And
him getting kicked out of Evolution over the belt
over the
is
belt.
iconic.
Oh my god.
And
It's just
Batista dropping him.
It's just so good. That belt was made for him. I want to see him with the new one. I love that they did a callback with it when he's like, I was the last person to hold this belt. I want the new one. It had that rivalry with Gunther and everything too. Oh my god. I don't think it's gonna happen because he's at 14. If I am predicting he wins the WWE title, that's 15, and then you're gonna give him 16 with the World Heavyweight title. I don't know. I don't know if they would do that,
Dude,
but I would love it.
Randy versus Cena for the Battle of 16.
That would be crazy. That would be crazy. There are some spots in there where I didn't really like Randy that much, like the Authority was a very like I
Oh.
didn't really like him in the Authority and stuff. So it's not
I
always
feel like
been
he's
top.
never been like bad. There's been points where it's very meh.
Yeah, exactly. And he
I always think of Legacy back in 09.
Yep, with our boy Cody Rhodes.
I
I think they're gonna do a callback with that as well. He keeps staring at the belt whenever they're near
always
each other.
think
so-
of the random SmackDown match that him and Cody had, where
Mhm.
Cody got busted open and he was just bleeding everywhere.
Yeah,
Match was awesome.
yeah. He's definitely was a lot more cocky back in the day. He's kind of grown up now. He's a little bit different, attitude wise. But I mean, it's Randy Orton, and I feel like
Yeah.
he's also underrated. And the fact that whenever people talk about the greatest of all time, he's not up there, which is crazy
was
because the
gonna
dude's
say-
been in the company for 20 plus years consistently.
And he still looks good.
Yeah, he looks
I know.
freaking crazy good. He's a 14-time world champion. Doesn't even count his runs with the Intercontinental Championships, the tag teams. I think he's held the
I
United States
remember
title.
his like iconic IC title run where he held it for freaking ever.
Yeah, and then rated RKO. God,
Yeah,
RK
it's worth
bro.
it, bitch.
Like,
I know. I know over on Maven's channel, he always tells stories about traveling with Randy. 'Cause
yeah,
I guess they were like travel buddies back in the day.
yeah. So, and oh my god, that RKO at WrestleMania 31 is just it's like my favorite. It's so
The
good.
one to Seth.
Yeah, the one to Seth. The fact
Is it better than the Evan Bourne one?
I think so, because Evan Bourne does 99% of the work, and Randy just has to time it. I'm not taking anything away from it. It's still a god tier RKO, and I think what I love about both of them too is the reactions when he hits the RKO on Seth and he just starts going crazy and then pins him afterwards. The same with Evan Bourne when he like goes like this, like they're god tier moves, but like he had to use his shoulder to prop him up and then catch him in the air, and they had talked about how they had never hit it during like their practices and stuff like that. So when he actually hit it at WrestleMania, it was like, damn, that's pretty good. And he did one recently too, the pop-up power bomb into the RKO.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, he's so good. That's my boy Randy Orton.
Dude, I always think of it's not up there with the other ones, but the one at WrestleMania 30 to Bryan where Batista like
Oh yeah,
power bombs him.
Comes in
It's like
this-
a reverse RKO where he hits the neck breaker
yeah.
through the table, but Randy's just so good.
He is. And I'm gonna be sad when he's gone. Seeing him at WrestleMania, when Cody won the title, and him and John Cena were like in the crowd and stuff, and then they were both talking to each other outside the ring, bro. Oh my god, I was like, we're not gonna get that for too much longer. So
Yeah, dude, it's crazy. Randy's still in great shape, but it's like
he said something about how he didn't want to wrestle past 50 or something like that. So,
I was gonna say, how much longer is Randy gonna go for?
yeah, the fact that he was out for almost 2 years
2
too.
years?
Yeah, it's crazy. So, but that's my boy Randy Orton, and
Dude, that
He was
last
expanded on
SmackDown I
that.
went to, I got to see Randy. We
Mhm.
weren't expecting Randy and Kevin to be there, and we got hyped for both of them. Very loud crowd for
I would
Randy.
do. Fucking Randy Orton.
Nowadays
He's a
everybody
legend.
everybody
Everyone
sings
his
this song.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I still like Burning My Light more, but Voices
I
is
do
still
too.
godly.
it's crazy to me that he hates Burning My Light.
Yeah, and you can't
Burning My
forget.
Light's goated.
You can't forget who had the Kill Switch Engage theme song. It wasn't CM Punk's. It was Randy Orton's theme song for one night
Dude,
on SmackDown.
Dude, I can't picture Randy coming out to that theme.
Dude, I remember
Funny
watching
story
that
though,
one.
the last time I seen Killswitch Engage, they opened with this fire,
Oh hell yeah!
which was dope to see him play live.
I remember because he had Burn in My Light. He came out on SmackDown, and this Fire Burn starts playing. I was, who the fuck is this? What happened to my music? Who is? And then Randy comes out. I was like, that's not his theme song, bro. Where's my Burn in My Light? Now I love this Fire Burns, and I hate that it's associated with CM Punk, but it is a god tier song. So, but yeah, Randy Orton, the GOAT, and we can move on now to S's. Oh, S is
That's
as Kai, right?
That's me. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Let's see what you got.
Aw, dude. Let's go. It's Sammy. It's gotta be
Sami
Sammy.
Zayn. Let's go.
It's gotta be Sammy. I love that man. Just, first time seeing him in NXT, seeing him fight Cesaro.
Oh, Cesaro
Like-
badass.
Huh?
That's Cesaro so badass.
Yeah, dude. They had like a 30-minute like banger, and then whenever Shinsuke debuted, they had Sammy do the work, and they had a great match.
Mm-hmm.
And he's still doing it now to this day. I remember being on the train of when they were, middle of Roman's reign. They're going on the collision course to Mania. And I'm sitting here thinking Sammy's going to beat this man in Montreal. Didn't happen.
Elimination.
But he
chamber.
had me believing. He had me believing that it was going to happen. I think that was my favorite WWE match that whole year.
Mm-hmm.
Just because I believed, I was like, I don't know how they're going to do it. But Sammy's got to win. It's in Montreal. The crowd's on his side. Like, his work with the Bloodline's been fantastic. The man just puts on great matches. I mean, just look at... honestly, Sammy Gunther from Mania this year might be my favorite match from this year.
It was so
Actually,
good.
it's probably the main event, but... Probably the main event of Mania, but...
Maybe best wrestling match.
Dude, when he
up there.
beat Gunther, dude, that like crazy brainbuster in the corner, crazy.
When KO
And
was in the tunnel
have-
too.
Mhm.
That was cool.
I have a theory that I think we're getting Sammy KO at Mania.
I
this
think so
year.
too, because KO says
It all built.
when he was interviewed by Michael Cole,
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
talking
He
about it,
said,
it's
"Oh,
like,
we'll
and
get to
Sami Zayn,
Sammy."
yeah, we'll get to him.
I'd been saying it about a month before that, but I mean, it all makes sense, man.
Mhm.
KO's whole thing is he hates people that are forgiving Roman. He's like, no, I hate Roman. He's like, Roman caused me nothing but pain for 3 years, throwing me off balconies and shit.
Mhm.
Deserved. He tried to come at his title.
And I just think it's all gonna end with a Sammy KO Mania match. But I love Sammy. I'd like to see him get the world title one day. I don't know if it'll ever happen, but any role that man's been given, he succeeds at. Honorary Oos, IC champ. Even his stuff with like when he was like with Braun and Cesaro and he was the IC champ.
Mhm.
Even that stuff worked. Or no, it was him, Shinsuke, and Cesaro.
Oh yeah.
And they all three pinned Braun, and he was like the champion.
Was that when he was the conspiracy theorist, Sami
Yeah,
Zayn?
yeah. No matter what role the guy's been given, he's been highly entertaining.
They haven't even
and he
touched
knocks it
on
out of the park.
his NXT run.
Yeah,
too.
dude, his run to the title, like when he finally beat Neville.
Mm-hmm.
Sadly, it only lasted one pay-per-view because Kevin Owens
Kevin
beat his
Owens
ass.
killed him. Yeah.
And then that ended up to Samoa Joe debuting.
Yes, sir.
That was the real golden era, dude.
My boy.
But it had to be. I mean, we might see
My
that
boy
name
is
come
Sweet Tooth.
from one of y'all too.
Mm-hmm.
That is an F name that could come, so we'll see. But yeah, no, it's got to be Sammy for me. Everything he's done, he might be. He's definitely like a top 5 of my just current day favorites.
Can't forget his real name though, El Generico.
El Generico.
I watched a video this morning. It was 24 wrestlers you didn't know wrestled in TNA, and El Generico was like the first
a
one.
match in there?
Yeah, and the whole crowd's going crazy. It's El Generico, whatever, coming out doing all this stuff. I was like, damn, he was over as hell. That's crazy. So I thought about this one's hard. S is hard because there's a lot of good S's out there. You might even, I think Seth Rollins up there,
Seth,
Samoa Joe,
Joe,
right?
Sammy.
But I had to go with the Stinger because
Stinger.
yeah, I went with Sting because longevity is definitely a part of it. I won't act like I never really watched his WCW stuff. I know about it. I know how iconic it was for him to not be in the
His
NWO.
TNA stuff.
I think that's
Dude, I'll
where I
say
love
this:
it.
they ran that whole thing just to have Hogan botch the year-long storyline
Yeah.
like a wank.
But like he was such an integral part of TNA. If it wasn't for Sting, they probably aren't where they were in the glory days because he was still at the top of his game. He was still over as hell, and he put his heart and soul into TNA for like I want to say over 10 years. Because
That sounds about right.
yeah, I would say because he was definitely like the original NWA TNA, which was like 2002, and I don't think he showed up in WWE until 2014. No,
I thought it was 2015, but
yeah, because it was WrestleMania 31. 31? I think. I
it might
think
have
it.
been 32.
I think it's 30. I think I
it
thought
might be 31. It's the one with the big ass play button.
Yeah, that's 31 because that's Seth Rollins
Alright.
winning the title at the end. So it's the same one as Randy Orton.
Yeah, it was
RKO.
WrestleMania 31.
Yeah, so and even then, if you don't even count his TNA stuff, his debut when he Survivor Series when Dolph Ziggler's about to lose and then the Crow music hits and everything, that whole feud and him coming out was so freaking godly, and then they had to ruin it with fucking Triple H winning because Vince McMahon wanted to get one more over WCW had been dead for fucking 15 years, bro. Come on. And then
dude, I remember him debuting on Dynamite because he wasn't announced or anything.
That's what's so great about him.
Like it's just Cody in the ring. Lights go out, duh. And then we're like, what the hell is this? And the screen all flashes the lightning and it says Sting. And we're like, me and my dad are both sitting there, we're like, there's no fucking way. And he comes out and he still looks good, ball bat, face bat. We're like, oh my god.
Yeah, he's so...
We're like, the aura is still there. This is fucking awesome,
and
man.
He held it to the end. He was diving off the fucking turnbuckle on the tables as a 60-plus-year-old man. Like he's a
and no selling the fuck out of like going through tables and
oh
shit.
yeah, he just get back up and I'm like, bro, you're 60. That should hurt a little bit.
I just imagine like these younger talent getting to work with Sting, dude. Probably like fanboying on the inside.
Yeah,
Like,
and
I
It's probably
watched you
so
when I
good
was
for
like
them.
3.
he's so godly too. He tried to lose his last match to put the Young Bucks over, and Tony Khan said, "Hell no! You're the icon. You have to go out on top, man."
Yeah, I'll be real. At the time, I was like, the Bucks are winning this, and like, no, Sting going over was 100% the right call after seeing the match.
Because you don't see
And
that.
I give AEW a lot of shit nowadays, but
because it's different because like Ric Flair, Shawn Michaels, obviously they came back, but like their retirement is like them going and putting the next guy over. You know, people that have been in the business forever. There's only one person I can think of that didn't do that, and everyone hated it is fucking Hulk Hogan because he's Hulk Hogan. Bro always had to be over.
What was Hogan's last match? It had to be an Impact.
It was in TNA. It was the TNA after Bound for Glory. And he fucking win.
He won?
I'm pretty sure he wins.
Did he beat like Mick Foley or something?
No, it was like a tag match or something fucking stupid. I think his actual last singles match might have been against Sting.
Technically, Flair won his last match as well, but it wasn't.
Is it really a win? Who won really?
It wasn't. He didn't, dude. He didn't remember where he was at the end of it.
Bro.
He was holding the title like Khali style, backwards.
Yeah.
Actually, Shawn Michaels also won his last match. Out
did DX win? I think DX did.
Yeah, DX won, dude. That match is.
Sir.
But
that match is not great.
But it's fine because who he putting over? He's putting over people in their 50s, bro. It didn't matter.
Kane loses his mask.
Yeah, I just wanted to say that Shawn Michaels won his last match.
Well, we all know he's next on your list, so. is your S. So you can praise him all you want with his DX collabs.
Yes, sir. Shawn Michaels.
Dun,
Also,
dun.
Joker Sting, godly. Don't care what anyone
Oh
says.
yes.
Joker Sting was a god tier thing. So, yeah, the Stinger. And shout out to, because his character, the Sting, or the Crow Sting, is an homage to Brandon Lee from the his movie, and that's who I'm named after. So,
Oh hell
yeah, so gotta put Sting on there, right? That's godly. So, all right, Kuhn. I wonder who this could be.
Oh yeah, yeah. No,
Dun,
mine's
dun,
Shawn
dun, dun,
Michaels,
dun.
Mr. WrestleMania himself.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Shawn Michaels has my favorite moveset of any wrestler ever, and always will. And he's the first wrestler that I actually went back to watch old like videos of because I didn't watch them when they were happening, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
And what I did, I was like, this guy's fucking badass. His fucking matches with the Undertaker, with Owen, um, yeah, well,
Bret
not
Hart.
Owen, Bret Hart. I don't know
Well,
why I
he
said Owen.
he definitely wrestled Owen too. Because Owen's a
Yeah,
He
god.
but
definitely
Bret
did.
is the one that I watched more. I don't think I've seen the Owen one,
You
but
definitely should.
no, everything I watched him wrestling is just money. He's called Mr. WrestleMania for a reason. Um,
Did
he has the fucking the sweet chin music, man. That shit is so badass. I love that shit.
Yeah,
Yeah,
nobody does the super kick like him. There's
no one
nobody. To
at
this
all.
day, nobody does sweet chin music.
The closest
But
person we had, I stand by this, is Dolph Ziggler.
yeah, his was close, but there's just something
Because
about,
but Shawn Michaels is so fucking clean every time.
you know why? It's because he tunes up the band. Nobody else tunes
Yeah,
up the band.
no one tunes up the band,
Everyone
bro.
just does it. Everyone just super
Yeah,
kicks.
everybody just does that out of nowhere. You gotta tune up the band,
Mm-hmm.
you know. And his fucking kip ups too, fire.
Yep.
No one kips up like him.
Don't forget.
Just everything about Shawn Michaels, no one does like him.
Mm-hmm.
I will never forget one of the first pay-per-views that I ever got to watch. My buddies invited me over for WrestleMania 25, and I'll never forget half the room rooting for HBK, half the room rooting for Undertaker, because at the time you literally don't know who's gonna win.
Mm-hmm.
And I personally think Michaels Taker, they're both good, but I prefer the first one over the second one. Just the aura of that match, just half of us, every near fall, everybody's like, oh, everybody's getting hype. We're like all, screaming and yelling. Like we got done, we're like, whoa.
I like the
And
match more for 25. I like the build up for 26.
yeah, the
Because
build up
Yeah,
with
the
like
yeah,
Bill of
the
Story.
elimination chamber.
Doesn't he have the fucking entrance where it comes down from the fucking?
That's
yeah,
25.
that's
That's
25. Yeah.
25. I thought it was 26.
26 is like where he comes out of the Raptors in the white.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. Dude, he knew how to make an entrance, dude. Goddamn.
Yeah, I love how desperate he was to have that match with Undertaker. I think he screwed him at the Royal Rumble or something like that. He
Well,
kept asking.
Batista
Yeah.
threw him out
Yeah.
because he was like trying to like claw on to the end, and he hits the ground. Then he goes in there and starts super kicking everything. Like he's like, "Ref, you can't throw me out."
Yeah, that's what's that. Then he went to SmackDown and he was begging Teddy Long for the match. He's like, I gotta have this match. And then like Triple H comes and was like, yo, you need to get it together. Then he super kicks Teddy Long in the face. And then he just kept asking for the match with Undertaker, and Undertaker just kept saying no, 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 and he's trying to find ways to fight him at WrestleMania. Then Undertaker was world champion.
Yeah,
And then he screwed him at Elimination
he
Chamber,
screwed him
right?
at the chamber, and
Oh,
Jericho
yeah.
won the world title to set
Yeah.
up Jericho
Oh
and
my
Edge.
God. Yeah, that was so good. Yeah.
And that's not even talking about his DX stuff too. I mean, this DX stuff was phenomenal. Triple H and them also.
Mm-hmm.
DX Generation is still my favorite tag team, just because they had the best aura of any tag team I've seen, in my opinion.
Shawn Michaels, I didn't really like him attitude wise, and I think a lot of people felt this way. I didn't watch him back then, but I did go back and watch stuff. During the 90s, he was a prick. Like
You
he
know,
really was like an asshole IRL.
Yeah,
So,
he was.
he is kind of like Hulk Hogan, where he just kept pulling strings, and every time he had to drop the title, he had a magical injury. I think there's the most notorious one was I lost my smile.
Yeah.
My God, obviously
Dude.
he had the Survivor Series 97, I think it is, the screw job and all that stuff. There's a lot of things about him personally that I don't like. But when it comes to in-ring ability, bro, when he does the elbow drop and he goes like this right before, oh my God, it's so godly. Like it's just perfectly timed.
I'll say this too. It's crazy to think he never won another world title from '02 to 2010.
He won the Elimination Chamber, right?
Yeah,
to
that was in
win.
02.
That was the world title. I didn't really
That was
watch
his
back then.
last world championship, and it lasted a month
Yeah, and then
until he lost it to Triple H.
yeah, and he was in a bunch of title matches too. Like you really
just
think
never
about it, he
won
just
'em.
never won them. Yeah, just crazy to think. For me, Shawn Michaels
was gonna
versus
say-
Kurt Angle is the best. That was
I
my
was gonna.
favorite.
Oh
time.
yeah, I know. I 1,000,000% agree. That match is a masterpiece.
WrestleMania 21.
That one and him and Jericho in the ladder match.
Yeah, that was really good too. And he is technically the innovator of the ladder match. He had
yeah.
the first ever one
With Razor.
Yeah, with Razor Ramon. Then he had the one
Had the
with
first two.
Yeah, they had Kevin Nash too. I think was for the Intercontinental title,
yeah,
right? So he did ladder. He had the first few ladder matches.
He ran it. Well, he ran it back with Razor Ramon as well.
Yeah, they had two of them.
I want to say one was at a Survivor Series and one was at a Mania. I don't remember which
SummerSlam.
was.
One was SummerSlam.
Was it SummerSlam?
Yeah.
SummerSlam and Mania.
I mean, one of the more iconic videos that you see is him diving from the ladder. Still.
See, my first exposure to Shawn Michaels was in '02 when he was in the shit colored tights. Don't know what he was thinking that day, but I don't know if you've ever seen the Shawn Michaels Kuhn. I guess they had to like make him. They had to like make him tights on the fly or something, and they're like poo poo brown.
Yeah, they're pretty bad.
And that was when he won the world title.
Because he's shitting on them, you know.
Yeah, he's definitely one of the more polarized. Oh, speaking of Hulk Hogan, how about Shawn Michaels versus Hulk Hogan at SummerSlam?
Oh, dude. That match is godly for all the wrong reasons.
Yeah, it's so godly. The fact that Hulk Hogan didn't want to do 3 matches, so Shawn just says, "Fine, I'm just gonna make this the most."
Well, yeah, because I guess Hogan was supposed to win, then Michaels was supposed to get his win back, and they were gonna decide on the third.
Yeah.
And Hogan's like, "Oh man, my back hurts.
I can only
Looks like
do
I'm only doing one match,
Yeah.
and I'm winning."
Yeah. So the fact that he kind of just threw that match, it's so funny to go back and watch that. But I think the one thing too it gets a little bit overlooked is his reactions. When he does sweet chin music after he's been beat up and he just collapses after he hits it.
Yeah,
it's so good. When he's desperately crawling to try to get the pin. Remember when he did the Fatal 4-Way match, he sweet chin music's John Cena in the face, but Cena lands on top of Edge to pin him for the 1, 2, 3, and you just like Shawn Michaels goes like this. He hears the count. He like wakes up and he desperately tries to get over the break it up, but he can't do it. Like it's those little things like that just make his matches so freaking good. So, and he's a technical masterpiece, man. That's why him and Kurt Angle.
Wasn't it him and Cena on Raw that went an hour?
I think it was Kurt Angle, right? Because they had the Iron Man match.
I'm pretty sure there was a Cena Michaels match that went an hour on Raw. I want to say.
Don't forget
they had
this
the Mania match too.
Don't forget World Tag Team Champions with John Cena. They went into WrestleMania together against each other as World Tag Team Champions.
John Cena and Shawn Michaels had a nearly hour-long match on Raw.
Yeah.
You can watch the full match.
Oh, hell yeah. I don't remember that one off the top of my head. It's got to be about
I thought it was better than their Mania match.
Mm-hmm. That's definitely
shout out the match for your retired player.
Yeah.
Wait, it says 40-48 was the full match. Yeah,
Damn.
they had like a crazy long match on Raw.
Yeah, I don't remember that one off the top, man. I remember the Iron Man match with Kurt Angle on Raw, and then they
Yeah, I
tied.
remember the Kurt Angle match too, dude. Him and Sean were just so good together.
Yeah,
And now Sean's doing NXT work.
yeah. Like the last time I saw him was when what's her name? The GM. What's her name again?
Ava?
Ava. Yeah, she gets hit in the face with the door, and then she's on the
Oh,
ground, and then
dude.
Shawn Michaels comes in. And he's like, "What the hell are you doing?" He gets all mad at him.
Yo, did you see the Eddie Thorpe payoff though?
I have not seen
That
it
shit
yet,
was
man.
god tier.
And he
So
also dapped
they
my boy up,
they
Johnny
like
Jonathan.
ran a angle where Eddie won and was supposed to be the last man in the Iron Survivor, and he got taken out,
Yeah.
and he was replaced by oh, who's the guy, Kuhn? Your like favorite NXT
Is
star.
it Oba Femi?
Oba
Yeah,
Femi.
he
That's
There
came
we
not
out,
my
go.
yeah.
favorite, but he is a baller.
That should have been your O. I would have
No,
respected it.
Omos has to be my own.
But so they give Eddie this title match, and they're like, "We're still looking on who attacked you," and he goes, "I know who it was. It was me. I got my title match, and I didn't have to go through 25 minutes of bullshit."
Oh, wow, what a god.
I'm just like,
That's
well, because
job,
Ava's
dude.
like such a bad GM.
That's so funny.
I was like, damn, this guy's supposed to be a hill, but I just want to cheer for him now.
Hell yeah.
I know who attacked me. It was me.
Base.
Nicely done. All right.
Yo, hold on, Para.
Yes, go ahead.
Kuhn meant to say this was his golden letter to put his boy Solo there as well.
Yeah,
No,
exactly.
actually, if I was putting anybody else here, it would have
One of
been my
the,
boy
Don't
Shinsuke.
don't you haven't you heard his theme song, dude? You know, the
Da-na-na-na-na-na.
MixedRatkkuhn, the
Excuse me?
MixedRatkkuhn.
Could you at least make it work if you're going
He
to
is
insult
he
me?
no okay, Kuhn. It's da na 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 the MixedRatkkuhn. Da
It's
da
not
na na
working.
na
He's
the
taking it all.
MixedRatkkuhn. He is his chief. He is his boy. Giving it all for Solo Sokoa.
One of
that
the
He
is
for
goes,
your tribal chief.
he goes, I love you, Solo.
Yep. I love you, Solo. That's
I
the,
love you. You're my
that's-
tribal chief.
that's definitely Coon, bro.
No,
Yeah.
not even close.
Yep,
Yes, sir.
the Mix Raccoon. It had to be said while we were on S's Coon.
Yeah, I
my
agree.
my shout out would have been Shinsuke, honestly.
No, this new Nakamura character, it do be kind of slapping.
Yeah, your boy Solo Sokoa didn't beat him up. It all works out.
Ah, dude,
Oh,
they
doesn't
knew.
beat anyone up. He's
no,
ass.
no, he beat up everybody in the ring except for
dude.
except for Shinsuke. He let Shinsuke leave.
Yeah,
They
he
didn't let
let
him mess with
Shinsuke leave.
Shinsuke. He was over there like throwing up the black gunk, and they're like,
Yeah,
We're
yo,
good.
bro. Yeah, you know what? Whatever you got going on, you can take it with you.
so does that mean that you get the tease, Para?
I do. I think I might shock a few people with
The
this one.
final boss.
The final.
That would have been the funniest
The
shit
Rock.
ever.
You know, and this wasn't my answer a few months ago, but then fantasy happened, and I
Yeah,
posted this every week.
I did not put thes for my T because
I didn't either.
I didn't
Me
want to
neither.
do it for I just couldn't count it. So I actually picked Neil Dashwood, known to WWE people as Emma, because the same things I said about Paige, I watched her during NXT. I always found her so underrated. Then we had to deal with the fucking Emelina gimmick that thankfully never really happened. And then when she came back and she was a heel Emma was freaking amazing. And I wish
Made
she
me
got pushed
sad
more.
that she never got a shake.
Yeah,
her return.
it made no sense to me. I think a lot of us were like, bro, this is like, Vince, did you never see her in NXT, bro? Because she was killing it with the freaking so great. Dude, if you could get that over, you should give her a chance, right? So, but then when she went to TNA, Impact at the time became Neil Dashwood, which is her real name. Won the tag team champions. Remember, Caleb with the K. It's Neil Dashwood.
Yeah,
It's
that
God
is
tier.
my language.
That was some
Caleb with the K.
God tier stuff, man. I
Does
think
that dude still wrestle with TNA?
he does not. No.
Dang.
He might have
Yeah,
been. He might have been just upheld because Tennille Dashwood made that so well, but he's still a god. Caleb with the
no,
K.
he upheld Tennille Dashwood.
Right. The fact that I got to see her be successful in Impact was great. I believe she was tag team champions with Madison Rain. It's a little hazy that era.
Say that's
There's a little
right.
bit of a pandemic era.
She
but I think
she was also running around with Giselle Shaw for a while.
yeah,
wasn't she?
yes. So I still find her to be super underrated, which is kind of the way it is with women's wrestling back then. So, but it was nice to see her be successful, and I think her husband is Madcap Moss, if I'm
Yes,
correct.
it is.
That's Kuhn's boy right there, Madcap Moss.
Oh hell yeah! That Cop Moss is a baller.
Because I have her on Instagram, so they do a bunch of like funny videos and stuff like that. But yeah, I kind of miss seeing her in the ring. I don't know if we're all to see it because the fact that she did all that stuff, she actually has a really bad skin condition as well that she has to deal with. So the fact that she was able to deal with that and still be such a great wrestler, Tennille Dashwood is my pick. Oh, all right, Kuhn, what you got, my boy?
I mean, I have to go with the other half of my favorite tag team, Triple H.
So D-Generation X is your favorite tag team?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
They were godly. Also, he's the game, bro.
He is the
From
game.
the sledgehammer to the water bottle to the theme song
The only
to the
time
fucking
I ever
pedigree.
the only time I ever really remember liking Triple H was like his O2 return run. Dude, every time I think of Triple H, I just like I like him nowadays, but I just always associate him with the Reign of Terror and winning the World Heavyweight title 50 million times.
I hated Triple H, bro, for so fucking long. I just hated him. I hated everything about him except for Evolution. But even then, it was like, bro, this man just. It's so good for his character though, because he was just so obsessed with the World Heavyweight Championship. Every time he lost it, he would do anything to get it back. So in that aspect, it was like I love it, but at the same time, bro, everything he did, I just fucking hated him.
Like,
even when he was a face, when he came back with Shawn Michaels and G-Generation X, and they were faces, I hated it because I did not want to root for him.
Then they did the whole thing with Hornswoggle.
Yeah, the best DX member, Hornswoggle.
Hornswoggle is a god.
Yeah,
dude, I just remember. I remember wanting to see Goldberg win the title in the chamber.
Yes, thank
and
you.
Triple H was hurt.
Oh,
and he pulled out the sledgehammer and Goldberg speared the sled. I was sitting there and I just wanted to cry. I wanted to be like, no, why? And then he wins the next month, but it don't have the same effect.
No, it didn't. It was.
And then I
then
think
he lost it. He lost like a couple months later. He didn't even
back
last
to Triple H.
Yeah.
But then I remember the bad matches with Scott Steiner. Like, I just have a lot of like very painful memories.
The three matches I think of Triple H are the Undertaker, Shawn Michaels, and who was it? Fuck. I think Stone Cold.
From back in the day.
Yeah,
I remember.
I watched those ones.
I personally don't ever remember him wrestling Stone Cold. Like I can't think of like. I'm not saying there isn't. I just off the top of my head, when I think of him and Stone Cold, I think of the 2-man power trip.
It was like it was like before. It was like when
two-man power
I
trip.
had to go back and watch it. I think it's like around the 2000s. Like
because 2-man power trip is heel Stone Cold.
Ended before it ended before it got really started.
Yeah, they're the WWF, the Intercontinental, and then they were tag team champions.
Sadly, that's not Stone Cold's best tag team.
Like I said, my favorite Triple H was when he come back and won the Rumble.
Mm-hmm. Bald headed.
I liked his
bald Triple
H. Bald Triple H is better.
As far as matches, the match I instantly think of is Triple H versus Mick Foley at Rumble 2000.
Mick Foley. I obviously think of Shawn Michaels first because I mean that's my boy.
I respect Triple H a lot. I like a lot of his matches and
Mhm.
stuff like that too. But damn, I just fucking there's the
Like I
meme.
said, dude,
We
it's
fucking hate Triple H.
the reign of terror, man. There's so many
Yeah.
just painful memories in that like 4-year block that stick with me.
Yeah.
Even when he won the title, they just like Eric Bischoff pulled it out the bag and he's like, "Well, we should have it. No, we're just gonna give
No,
it
we're
to
just gonna give
Triple
it to
H."
Triple H. Oh my dear God, bro.
And then my shout out for this is my girl Tasha Steeles.
Oh yes, the Boricua,
But yeah,
the Boricua
I
badass.
feel like they
I
can't be my
mean-
favorite tag team. They're both not my favorite in their leather, you know.
Mhm.
I mean,
The
I
Shield
have
are
a
up
T
there
on
though.
here. I have a T on here, and it's not a shock on who it is. Current tag team champion, Tommaso Ciampa.
Damn.
Hell yeah!
Damn.
Dude,
That was my
like
Jonathan Garganathan pick from last year.
I have said, there was a point where Ciampa was my favorite superstar, like 2015 NXT, no music, having world champion Ciampa coming out screaming at old ladies and stuff. Like, there was a point where that man was like on Randy Orton's levels of menace.
He's
Like he was hated. He had no entrance music, so he just came out to chorus of booze was his entrance music.
Yeah.
He would come out with the belt and you just hear boo, boo. And he would just relish in it. The way he would hold the belt, Goldie,
Mhm.
like like he's still a god nowadays. Like the stuff he did with Miz was fun. The when he wore the
Stuff he
Harley
did with
race
Braun
gear
Breaker was good too.
to go for the U.S. title.
Oh yeah, I forgot about him and Miz. Yeah, that was really good.
He had where he fought Gunther. He didn't win, but he had like the Harley race gear on. I was like, is Ciampa winning the belt tonight? That would have been the IC, wouldn't it? Not the US.
Yeah, it's the
It would have
IC.
been on Raw. But yeah, he had his stuff with Braun Breaker when they went to 2.0. Like, really, people shit on 2.0, and now NXT's like in a mid place where everybody kind of has like a renewed respect for it.
Mhm.
2.0 had a lot of filler, but they had a lot of super
But
stuff up to
yeah,
main
no,
roster
when Breaker
quickly.
started, like Champa was kind of the guy to put the training wheels on him.
Mhm.
Like he carried 2.0 when that brand first rebooted. And just his program with Gargano overall. And nowadays, I'm very happy to see what they're going to do as Hills on SmackDown.
It's interesting because it's kind of like Sami Zayn and KO, where like they're just gonna be linked together forever, whether they're
Yeah.
together or they're gonna fight each other, and we know it's gonna happen eventually.
Dude, well, I'll say this: Ciampa's had neck issues, so I hope we're not on borrowed time.
Yeah.
Because I love the man. Right now, his whole character is he's a psycho.
He
He was like begging for that title shot, going around like interfering in matches, just beating up random street profits and Motor City machine guns.
He's in the video that I mentioned earlier. The superstars that were in TNA you didn't know, and he
I
comes
know.
out and he has the silver mask on.
Did he have the mohawk at the time?
I don't know. He has a hoodie on when he comes out, and then he has the silver mask. And they're talking about how he's like an indie legend and blah blah blah. And this was like old TNA, so he's been around the block for a while.
Oh yeah, he's up there. He's been around for a long while.
Johnny Gargano's in that video too, but they're not together. They're
My boy
separate,
Jonathan
but-
Gargano.
Yep, Johnny Wrestling.
Dude, I'm still waiting for them to give us the DIY Street Profits Motor City 3-way tag.
We might get it.
It's gotta happen.
We might get it. I was actually
'Cause
that
the
heel
program's
turn.
building up.
That heel turn was so good. I didn't see it coming. I'll be honest.
No, I didn't either. I thought I was like, damn, they're gonna break up, and then Johnny turned heel and was like, well, that worked.
Yep, tagged him.
And I was like, oh. I feel like the SmackDown tag division's in a very good spot, but Ciampa's basically on here for that 2015 run with the title, where he clutched it as Goldie and came out to no music and got booed and
Yeah, him and
like
Johnny Gargano was at the NXT. I think I mentioned this in the other video, so I'll keep it short. But that was the first time I ever saw them, and I didn't watch NXT at the time. It was Brooklyn Takeover, and they fought FTR, and I was
Yeah.
like, I don't know who these guys are. I don't watch NXT. I came out that match. I was like, bro, that was like the greatest tag team match I've ever seen. Who the fuck are these guys?
Was that the one where they won, where they put the double
Yeah.
submissions in the ring?
Yeah.
And like,
Yeah, it was
they're
so
holding
good.
each other's hand. They're like, "Don't tap."
It was so good.
Oh.
I was like, damn, NXT kind of popping. I might have to watch this. Like, they.
See, I first seen them in the Cruiserweight Classic,
Mm,
and them two were the last. They were already DIY, but like, they had to fight each other in the first round,
mm-hmm.
and the match was so good. And
I
I was like, damn, these
it's,
two.
It's a shame because him and Johnny Gargano's rivalry has just been. It's so good, but it always gets stopped because of an injury or
Dude,
something.
When he got
happens.
hurt and Johnny won the belt, I don't know. I had feels when Ciampa come out there and like congratulated him.
Yeah.
That when I went to Akon in Dallas, like the only anime I've ever been to, there was a guy walking around. He had the Ciampa tank top, the camo jeans, a big old brace on one leg, and a crutch. I was like, damn, that's amazing.
Yeah. That heel
But-
turn too when he comes out and just beats the crap out of Johnny Gargano on the ramp or on the stage. Oh my god.
It was at the end of the
That's-
show. They like
yeah,
ran
that was the
credits,
first
they
time.
ran the WWE.
That's the first time that I can remember that they ever did that, where they put the logo up, you think it's over, and then he just starts beating the crap out. And we're like,
Yeah,
what
he
the?
throws him into
Wait,
the stage.
what?
My
What is
mind was
happening?
blown.
So
I remember when he won the belt because he took it off of Malachi or
Malachi,
Alistair,
yeah, Alistair Black.
and nobody thought he was gonna win it, and then he won it, and it just I don't know, man. It set off something special.
Yeah, I always liked him better as a heel, so I'm interested to see what they do with the tag belts. So, all right.
I don't know who we're on for you. Is it
You-
Cunard?
I had S. No, I had T.
So it is Cunard.
It is Kuhn for the U.
I mean, I'm not gonna go in depth on this one. It's pretty obvious why I would say this name, Undertaker.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you can go on about Undertaker. Specifically, my favorite Undertaker is Biker Taker.
Yes, sir. Big
Yes,
Evil.
sir.
Agree with
Biker
you.
Taker is elite.
The
Dead man walk.
The American badass.
That's
Well,
my favorite Undertaker.
To American Badass when he became Big Evil.
Big Evil.
Because it was kind of rubbish before that when he was in like the blue jeans.
That's my
Came
favorite.
out to Rollin' by Limp Bizkit.
Yeah, he did.
Yes, sir. I still listen to that.
That theme song was a bop.
Mm-hmm. I also picked. I don't know. Did you also pick Undertaker?
Yes. I
Yes, we all
did.
picked
Yeah.
Undertaker.
There really wasn't like a whole lot of U names out there.
Not the tribal chief
I
Umaga.
guess- Yeah, I was gonna say you could have went Umaga. I mean,
I couldn't
don't
go
really know if
Umos, right?
yeah, I don't really. There isn't really any others that come to mind aside from Umaga, off the
At the head, yeah. I think there was a couple.
Undertaker.
There was a couple of, I think, Japanese wrestlers that could have been on it, but I wouldn't have picked them over the Undertaker. I mean,
I mean, dude, the man's a legend. He was there for years. Locker room leader.
the dong,
Still there every now and then.
the dong, bro. You hear that,
Yeah.
it's just instant. I think my favorite thing is the face that the other wrestlers make when they see him come down the ramp. That strike
Even,
of
like,
fear.
Because we all thought it was going to be Stone Cold. Even seeing him at Mania this year.
I
Because we weren't
popped.
expecting him there.
I-
Yeah,
I was
dude.
in the crowd. I heard the
That-
dong, and
that
I went
might-
crazy.
Did that get a louder pop than Cody winning the belt?
It was huge. I mean, yeah, of course, Stone Cold.
I was gonna say I heard. I don't remember who it was that was saying it, but somebody was saying that they were like, I was in the building. They were like, that gong hitting got a louder pop than Cody winning the belt.
Yeah, it was. I mean, again, Stone Cold, yeah, obvious pick, but we can't act like the Undertaker hasn't had beef with the entire bloodline before, all the way back to The Rock. Don't forget, he lost to Roman Reigns at WrestleMania too. Like that was supposed to be his retirement. Like he's always had
Yeah, it was his
stuff.
retirement.
I think he even fought Yokozuna a couple times. I could be a little bit wrong on that, but like that's about the same time period too. So that's like Rikishi as well. Like threw Rikishi off the top of Hell in a Cell into the freaking truck.
Yup.
So it's like he's always had rivalries with the bloodline. So it made sense to
And
me. I liked it.
one half of my favorite Mania match with Shawn Michaels. That match at
Yep.
25 was just different.
All his
And the streak.
the Triple H matches too were really good. CM Punk, Edge, Batista, like everyone really benefited from the streak. Randy Orton, I think he even fought Mark Henry. It was a casket match.
Oh hell yeah, my boy Mark Henry.
Yeah,
Dude, I think I've shown this to Kuhn before. Do you remember the promo with him and Big Show in the desert?
oh yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
you
yeah.
told me about it a lot,
Dude.
but I don't think you've ever
Yeah.
shown me it.
Oh, dude, it's so great.
We'll have to watch that.
I sent the giant out there. I don't remember the whole thing. He was also in those really ugly
Yeah, snakeskin boots.
yeah, the
Yeah.
snakeskin. He
Yeah.
had the snakeskin jeans at the time.
Yeah.
He's even said on his podcast that the snakeskin jeans were a mistake.
Yeah.
That promo is amazing.
He also had
Brothers of Destruction.
his last match too against AJ Styles. The Boneyard
Yeah.
match was really good.
Also, tag team work, Brothers of Destruction.
Of
That
course.
shit was bad.
That's what me and Rockham are. That's what we call ourselves, the Brothers of Destruction.
Like, if him and Kane ever got a legit tag run, they probably would have just been the champions.
They talk about
forever.
it. That's what they talk about. Why it
I
was
think
so
I seen
hard.
him and Kane talking about
It was
it.
like realistically, who's gonna beat us? How do you book us to like lose tag? That's why we never really went for the tag titles, because who's gonna beat us realistically? It just didn't make sense. And I'm like, I hate that he's fucking right. So I loved anything Undertaker and Kane. I fucking love. I didn't care if they were fighting against each other or if they were a tag team or anything, barring freaking Crown Jewel. And there was a couple. I think when Kane became World Heavyweight Champion on SmackDown and he was fighting Undertaker, some of those were kind of ass. But the two WrestleMania matches. The one where Undertaker comes back as the dead man at WrestleMania 20 and Kane's just freaking out. He's like, I killed you. Like, I killed you. You're not back. You're not back. And then he shows up at WrestleMania. He's like, oh my God. So good.
He retired the biker gimmick, which at that point, like, I think people were kind of clamoring for OG Taker to come back.
Yeah. And we can't forget the best meme of all time. You're going to go one-on-one with the Undertaker! And they like freak out. Dude, that's aura right there. When they just have to say your name and that wrestler freaks out, like, I gotta fight the Undertaker, it's godly. So
before we move on, I did a search. There was one other prominent U wrestler that came up, and I wouldn't have thought of it, but I have to mention him because he has one of the most epic pictures ever. And that's Ultimo Dragon.
Yes, sir. Ultimo Dragon.
With like 20 belts at once, just doing this with all the championships.
It is an iconic picture.
It has to be mentioned.
Huh? I think
sounds like a god.
I think I only really got to watch him. I think he came back. He had like a short stint on SmackDown.
I only really seen him on SmackDown.
Yeah, a short stint on SmackDown. That was it. Doesn't do him justice. But yeah, the Ultimo Dragon is gotta give him a shout.
I had to give him a shout.
And the Tribal Chief.
I'm not really familiar enough with his work.
And the Tribal Chief Umaga.
Yup. Rest in peace, Umaga.
I think it was Vince McMahon used to call him Yamanga.
There you go. There you go, Kuhn. I sent you this picture. Kuhn.
Oh my God, that's amazing.
Yeah, he's the original belt collector.
I'll send you. I'll send you another one that was. I'll send you another picture that was based off of it.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, see, he has to be a god if my boy Matt Cardona is doing it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Cardona did the belt, the Ultimo Dragon
Oh
belt
yeah,
pose,
during
and
that indie run that he had with all the belts.
yeah,
Yeah.
and I think Kitty might have done something when he was belt collected as well. I don't know if he did, but
Yeah,
that was the vibes I was getting. I wasn't really that familiar with Ultimo Dragon's work, but I knew that picture of him with all the belts.
Yeah, he's a little bit before my time.
But I figured I'd shout him out because he came up, and I felt like you needed a little bit of love. Yo, are we on to
Right.
V?
We are on V, and you
I've
are.
got a shout out for V, yo.
Let's hear it.
I went with Victoria, one of the
Damn. Yeah.
best women's wrestlers of our time. And V's a very hard one to think of unless you go with like Viscera or something.
Oh
And
God.
I
No.
wasn't writing people down, bro.
Yeah.
But no, dude, her stuff where she first came around and she was the crazy girl gimmick, peak. And that theme song.
Yep.
That
All the
theme
things you
song
said, all the
slaps.
things you
Yep.
said
All
running
the
through
things you
my
say.
head.
But no, her work in and then her work in TNA, and
Yes, sir.
she also as Tara, and she owns a wrestling themed restaurant. Like, I always thought the Widow's Peak was one of
I was gonna
the
say
coolest
it's
finishers.
that was a finisher right there, but you were
She'd,
not
like,
kicking
hold
out
him
of
up
that.
and then fucking drop him.
Him.
Like,
Yeah, the Widow's Peak is god tier.
it was slim pickings, but Victoria's Pog, I loved Victoria back in the day. I thought her stuff with Steven Richards was great.
It's sad because she was like the third woman, right? It was always
Yeah,
Lita and
it
Trish,
was.
Trish and Lita always, but like Victoria was also a badass during a time when we had like Tori Wilson and Stacy Keibler
And then
and stuff like that.
yeah, she was there, and then Mickey came along, and she got pushed further down the pecking order.
Yeah.
She was always a very solid hand, though. They always had her playing the psycho.
Mm-hmm.
And
she,
I think she ended up getting her flowers in TNA. I'm pretty sure she won
did.
that belt a few times in TNA.
She did. She is a
She had
women's champion though in WWE.
Oh yeah, no,
I think,
she won the women's champion. She might have won it more than once.
Yeah, she was definitely a really good heel and a believable like I'm gonna whoop your ass type of person.
Oh yeah.
I think she won it like 3 times, if I'm correct. That would be my guess. It's definitely not a one time.
I have no idea who this is.
You don't know who Victoria is?
No.
Yeah, she was goated.
She even came back in the Royal Rumble a couple years ago.
Yup. I was trying to find her actual championship record, but point being,
she won the championship twice in WWE. She's a 5-time knockouts champion
2 times,
and a 1-time tag team champion.
Hey, Women's Wrestling Hall of Fame.
And she's one of the reasons too during the like TNA's knockout division popping off. She's one of the underrated ones too, because everyone talks about Gail Kim and Mickey James and Awesome Kong.
He was in that company
at
the same time. 5-time TNA Knockouts champion.
Yes, sir.
And a 1-time TNA Knockouts tag champion with Brooke Tessmacher. Ranked number 5 in the top 50 females in 2009. PWI Woman of the Year 2004. She was the woman that could go in the ring. Everything she did always looked really good.
Yeah.
And everything that, every gimmick she always worked, made the best out of what she had to work with, and therefore she deserves a big shout on my list.
She should. Oh, she did make the Hall of Fame. No, she didn't. Women's Wrestling Hall of Fame. She should be in the WWE Hall of Fame, I think. There's no reason why she shouldn't be.
Is she let's see here. American. I'm trying to see where she's from. California. So yeah, that's a shout. I mean, they hit California enough that I would be very very surprised if she didn't get into the Hall of Fame sooner or later.
Yeah. Well, my V is also a TNA legend, I guess you could say. Because Mine is one half of the beautiful people, Velvet Sky, and I had a crush on her big time. Then she was in TNA, and like the beautiful people were such a great tag team with Angelina Love because it was like, yeah, they had that kind of like, okay, they're like the Stacy Keibler or Tori Wilson, whatever, but they could fucking wrestle. They kicked ass, and I remember her coming back, uh, in like 2021. They both came back when like all those people in the ring, all these TNA legends and stuff. I was like, damn, Velvet Sky still got it though. I'll keep this one short. The beautiful people were like another really big reason why women's wrestling popped off for TNA in the Knockouts division. I know she won the tag team belts a few times. I don't know if she ever won the big one because I know Angelina Love was kind of more pushed than she was. I think she won it a couple times. Um, but I know for a fact she won the tag team belts a few times. So again, V's was a little bit of a slim pickings, but I had to go ahead and pick. Oh, she did win the Knockouts championship twice. So yeah, that's my pick, Velvet Sky.
I mean, Kuhn's boy's a V. Kuhn's boy Vincent.
What?
Kuhn's boy Vincent.
Vincent.
Yeah,
Josh.
I feel like Vincent would be a Kuhn wrestler.
The only two fucking wrestlers I know with a B are Vader and Von Wagner. So take your pick on either of those two.
Vader's not
I
a bad
don't-
pick. Vader was a
Yeah,
really,
we'll
really
go
good
with
wrestler.
Vader because Von
I
Wagner's
mean,
a wank.
You know,
There is one other person.
it has his name has a very negative meaning nowadays.
Yeah, there is one
But
other
you
person.
could have literally just went Vince.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm not gonna say Vince.
The WWE.
I'll say Von Wagner before I say.
I mean, you could have went Vampiro.
I don't know who he is.
Oh, he was like a vampire.
Well, I kind of guessed that.
Damn.
You could have went Vicky Guerrero.
I'm not going that.
Yeah,
name.
there you go, Vicky Guerrero. Nyla Rose's manager.
You could have went Vikingo.
Oh, fuck do you say? Yeah. So
Vikingo.
anyway,
I'm not actually shocked you haven't seen Vikingo.
Vikingo versus Kenny Omega is one of the greatest matches.
Yeah,
as I was saying, the only two names I knew were Vader and Von Wagner.
I feel like if you've seen Vader, it was before my time, but every time I see a Vader match,
before my time too, I just know the name.
Oh, dude,
Vikingo, you would like him a lot.
Yeah, you would like Vikingo. You know who Kuhn would like? That's a V name.
Who?
Vladimir Kozlov.
Yeah, Vladimir. That's Santino Marella's tag partner. Yes, sir.
Oh, I changed my answer. Vladimir Kozlov.
He was a big old Russian dude that they tried to push.
Oh, hell
they tried
yeah!
to push him a few times, but the problem is he wasn't like that great.
No,
in the ring.
If he was the Santino, he had to be a god.
They won the tag belts together.
They won the tag belts, yeah.
He's a champion.
He is a tag team champion. I think they tried to push him on ECW.
Could have went Victor of Connor and Victor of the Ascension.
I guess I could have went with that one.
Out of all of the, I feel like you would like Vikingo if you ever seen him. I mean,
I forgot.
Who else is there? Val Venus.
I forgot that Victor.
I could have put, I guess, Valkyria, but I feel like that's live or Valkyria.
Vladimir Kozlov is in TNA right now. I fucking forgot.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, he came back recently.
So
I have not watched in a while.
You have a god down there.
Oh my god. Yeah, I remember him coming back. I was like, I know that ain't who I think it is. And it was. It's fucking him.
I'm shocked that Kuhn don't know who Vincent or Vikingo is actually.
Yeah, you would love Vikingo, bro.
Dude, when I went to the AEW show, like we got Rampage. The main event of Rampage that week was Vikingo against Beast Mortos.
That was a good
you
match.
would know him. I forget what his TNA name was.
Beast.
It's been too long.
Hold on.
The Bull Man, Wolfie's man.
Oh,
Black Taurus.
Yeah, it's now called the Beast Mortos. But yeah, it was Vikingo against Black Taurus, and they went
Oh,
like
that
20
match.
minutes, and that match kicked. So even my dad was sitting there. He's like, "Damn, that match was really fucking good."
His matches with Kenny Omega were god tier. He's the reason we watched the QT Marshall match, right?
Yep.
Because it was
Yeah,
Kenny
'cause
versus
we were-
Vikingo.
Kenny, we wanted to see Kenny win back the AAA belt, which didn't happen.
And then Vikingo showed up on TNA. They're like, we're gonna do a partnership with AAA.
I heard he got hurt again, which I hope is not true. But
yeah, he's kind of like a menace to society with.
Oh, hell
Kenny.
yeah.
Yeah, you would love him.
I love that for him.
Is he still the AAA champion?
No, it was
I'm
Del
dumb.
Rio last I knew.
Yeah, because
he beat
Nick Nemeth won it
for it.
The god Nick Nemeth.
But I feel like, peak 2008, Vladimir Kozlov would have been Kuhn's boy.
Yeah, that's your boy.
Yeah, so Von Wagner was the name I wrote down.
Well, good thing we changed it for you.
No,
Kozlov.
for now it's Von Wagner until further notice.
It's definitely
NXT legend Von Wagner.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we're to the W's.
We are.
I don't know whose turn it is.
I have a lot of
actually
W's.
mine.
It is.
How could we not pick the British legend William Regal as our W? Yes, sir. The man's a god.
I have a Will, but it ain't William.
Yeah, I wasn't picking Wenka. I wasn't picking that British legend.
I had another Will in mind also.
I think William Regal's god.
Regal's a good shout, dude. I remember when I was a kid, dude. I hated Regal so much.
I loved his theme song.
I was supposed to, but which one? Because he's had a couple good ones. Okay, yeah, that one.
Dude, I love that theme song.
I didn't know if you were talking about that one or like the one with the trumpets, the da 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 da. Or if you go back to WCW, he's a manly man.
Yeah, William Regal is so underrated. It's like Lance Storm, where they're just so really like they're gods at wrestling, but they didn't really get that push. But when I was watching, he had this stuff with Eugene. And then he was also a GM for a while.
I remember his stuff with Tajiri.
He had Tajiri, and then he had Santino, I believe. He had a little run with him.
Dude, I used to love I hated Regal. I loved the power of the punch.
Yeah.
They'd always have to check him for the brass knucks, and he'd go to the corner and pull him out.
Wait, he has a match against Spike Dudley where
that's one of my best memories, where Spike pulls out the things and hits him and takes his title.
Oh my god, then he just runs right back out. And he's such a good talent. And then, like I said, he had the GM run, he had the AEW run. He's the reason the Blackpool Combat Club exists, and they're still going. And of course, who could forget War Games?
Now we just need to, War Games.
Wasn't Hornswoggle his lackey too?
Probably. I don't remember that, but
I just remember that because my memory of fucking William Regal is from playing the video games. It was bald ass William Regal, and he was a fucking wank, and he had Hornswoggle with him all the fucking time. And they were fucking shitters. They pissed me off.
We just need to hope that half of Regal's charisma rubs off on his son.
Hornswoggle fought William Regal. That he didn't.
So,
isn't the
Kuhn, I don't know if you've watched any recent NXT.
No, I haven't watched wrestling for
Regal's son is Charlie Dempsey.
Yeah, he's the reason why he left AEW.
Tank Dempsey.
Tank Dempsey, right? That's the other thing. I loved William Regal as the GM of NXT. That was the best times. That was the golden years of NXT.
Now we have the god Shawn Michaels.
Now we unfortunately don't have William Regal as our GM anymore.
Regal should be the GM of NXT again.
Yeah.
Also, Regal should have got a world championship push, and he never did.
He did at least get King of the Ring.
He did get King of the Ring, and then sadly got suspended right afterwards.
Yeah. That kind of killed his push, but yeah, shout
I
outs.
mean, I'm sure you made a bigger fan because of who he beat in the finals to win that King of the Ring.
Yes, sir. You already know. But yeah, that's my pick. What do you got for us, Kuhn?
I couldn't think of a lot of W's, so
What's
I
he
just
gonna
went with my
say?
boy Wesley
Oh hell yeah!
because Wesley is a god,
One of the rascals.
and I don't have a lot of watching experience with Wesley, but I remember he did the open challenge on NXT,
Mm-hmm.
and fucking who was it? Axiom that answered it, I think. Fucking motherfucker hops in there, and they had a fucking banger of a match. I didn't even know who the fuck Axiom was.
Dude, I don't know what Wesley's doing at the moment, but he's
I
on
don't know
like
what
this
he's doing,
hill run, and I want to see it go places.
but Wesley's dope, and the fact that he was able to keep being successful after his tag team partner got into some shit, it's really good to see that he was still able to
Zachary.
stay relevant. You know?
Yeah, the rascals.
He
But
turned on the Rascals,
They did. I turned on my boy Trey
and then
Miguel.
he lost, and then he got his win back. But yeah, no, I like Wesley as well. I think Wesley's a baller.
He's definitely gonna be a big name in the future.
Like I said, I'm waiting to see this hill turn start feeding.
a Carmelo Hayes like heel turn.
All right, Kai, what do you got for us on the W's?
Well, you don't want to know.
Actually, you know what? We're gonna move on to.
Oh wait, no, the
X.
one Will that I was talking about was Willie Mack. The other
Oh,
guy.
hell
Dude, Willie
yeah.
Mack's a god. He's
Oh,
actually
that-
doing Ring of Honor
That
work.
was what I was gonna say if it wasn't Wesley.
He's actually on the he's on the Ring of Honor, like fighting for like some 6-man challenge.
Yeah, I saw him recently.
I seen him on there and I was like, oh, Willie Mack, hell yeah.
Yeah, Willie Mack.
Oh, but yeah, I just have the current best wrestler in the world as my W. Will, by God, Ospreay.
That's not his name.
Will Ospreay's badass too. I really like
Dude,
Will Ospreay.
I mean, dude, like every time this man steps in the ring, match of the year contender.
He won me
Yeah,
over with Assassin's Creed.
Dude, AEW's given him the top guy experience. I mean, he's one of the few guys on that roster that generally always get the. Now, when Kenny comes back, I need to see Kenny and Will again. It just needs to happen. I feel like this
Yeah.
Continental Classic's leading to Will versus Okada. I feel like that's gonna be the final.
That would hopefully be.
Ours boy
Right.
Will Ospreay.
But I mean, dude, it's just the entrance is pristine. I mean, everywhere he's went this year, his stuff with Josh Alexander, fire. His stuff with Kyle Fletcher, fire.
I actually forgot that was
The-
this year. Technically, it's like in
Yeah.
January.
Yeah.
That match was so fucking good. And when they
The
go
Ricochet
through the
stuff, good. The Takeshita stuff, good. Like,
and he
he's
has
just
match of the year candidate with Bryan Danielson.
yeah. The Danielson match was good. The MJF stuff was good. Like, they had 2 matches.
Yeah, he's definitely been a bright spot.
When MJF beat him on Dynamite, I was shocked because I didn't think there was no way MJF was winning that belt.
Mm-hmm.
Then we got one of the best runs of the year, though. MJF is the champion of America.
Yes, sir.
MJF as a champion is just what I need all the time.
Kuhn, if you haven't seen it, you need to see when he went down to Mexico and wrestled, and he came out with, he had all these girls with him, and he had a big old American flag and like red, white, and blue MJF gear, and he had the championship of America. He's like, this is no longer the Continental title. This is now the championship of America.
That's
because
amazing.
I hold the belt. Because Ospreay challenged him. It was like the rematch was in London. So like he came out and there was like a big old American flag, but instead of stars, it's MJF faces.
That's amazing.
50 MJF faces. But when Will Ospreay beat him, like he wouldn't touch the American belt. You know, they like made him give back the Continental belt.
Yeah. Because he also changed the IGWP United States title too. Remember when he won it off Kenny and he changed the belt?
Yeah.
I'm not fucking American, and he's like, we need a new belt.
Except he was a hill when he did it that time.
Yeah.
But I mean, dude, it just as someone that watches AEW every week, I am just thoroughly entertained every time I watch Will Ospreay, and I have to put him there. And he's fighting Darby Allin tomorrow night at the time of recording, and them two are probably gonna kill each other.
Yeah, it'll be great. It'll be great. Because Darby Allin just wants to go through every single item that's ever been created in a wrestling ring.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I like Will Ospreay's work. I just can't. I'm a Kenny
You love
fan.
Will Ospreay.
I'm a Kenny Omega fan.
You're
I
an
can't put him
Ospreay
on
type
there.
of guy.
Can't put him on there.
Don't get me wrong. If you're putting me Kenny versus Will, I'm going Kenny every day of the week.
Yes, sir.
Or would go.
But
Will.
I could also realize that Kenny's had some injuries. Like he's not the same Kenny he was 4 years ago.
Well, he'll come back in January.
Dude, I'm hoping. I mean, Kenny Takeshita. That was like the last time I think I seen Kenny, and it was.
Yes, sir. All right, we're down to our final 3 letters, and there's 3 of us, so this will be pretty nice that we get to end like this.
I'm wondering if we all have the same one for.
Let's see.
Aw.
I think we do, because there's really only 2 options.
There's
I believe.
only 2 options, and I can tell you, I didn't pick the one that
I picked.
I didn't watch a lot of.
Yeah, Xavier Woods.
Yes, sir.
I mean, even more so, even if there were other options with all the promo work and heel work that's happening now. I think Xavier Woods going on his heel turn is going to boost him immensely because I think he's always wanted to play the bad guy. Because if you watch his YouTube channel and stuff, up and down that, you know he likes to play the bad guy in like all the games he plays. So I think he is going to fucking thrive in this heel New Day.
I did you see them outside of Boston with the crowd? They were like,
I did not.
They were taunting them. They were just talking so much smack to everybody in the crowd. Like, they didn't come to see you. They came to see us. And him and Kofi, they're like, well, no, we're breaking hearts. We're breaking hearts. You think we care? You think we care? Like, oh my God. I'm actually looking forward to this run. But man, why did they have to do my boy Big E like that, man?
It's
Dude,
just,
I was just stunned when they did Big E like that.
Yeah, because for like the last 2-3 months, they've been teasing them breaking up and hating each other. But then Big E comes in and they just turned it all on him. And I'm like, there's no way they're saying this right now. They're like, yeah, but Edge broke his neck. Yeah. But guess what? He came back.
Kurt Angle broke his neck. He
came back. Where were you, E? Oh my God.
It's just such a crazy promo.
Yeah, but it's so good. I put him down because, I mean, they're the best tag team of all time, arguably.
I agree with that, dude. Like, the New Day, the King Woods run was great.
That's our boy.
I mean, Consequences.
I was gonna say it. When he came out recently with the gear on, the United States champions, like the pants and everything. Oh my God, I popped.
So yeah, he came out in like U.S. gear when he was in TNA, and he would like do the splits and get up and be dancing and stuff.
Because he was like a knockoff of Apollo Creed.
Yeah, he was a knockoff of Apollo Creed.
But he came out in that gear recent. Was it WrestleMania? I think it would have been. It was something like recently. He came out in that gear, and I was like, "That's my boy, Consequences Creed."
He also dressed up as a Ninja Turtle, so that's.
I was gonna say, dude, he was Donnie there for a bit.
Sadly,
yeah, that was godly.
No, what was godly is him coming out in the Super Saiyan gear.
I was gonna say, dude,
that was also godly.
Well, him and Kofi before the turn were doing the Goku Black.
Yep. Oh my God, that was a godly fit too. Because everyone was like, he's gonna turn on him. He's wearing the Goku Black stuff, and people were like. Other people that don't watch Dragon Ball are like, what does this mean? And we're like, you don't understand. It's just gonna be good. Oh.
But yeah, dude, like they came out of a cereal box, like
they've done so much bullshit.
They've had the Bootios.
The Booyahs,
Just
the
such an
pancakes.
accomplished run, and it still feels like he's underrated.
There's
Yeah,
actually
it feels like Woods doesn't get his flowers.
it's because
Woods
he
needs to
hasn't
win a singles
Yeah, it's
title.
because he hasn't won a single title. It's the only
And
reason.
I feel like that's the direction he's headed as a heel. Because
I feel like we're gonna get
think he's
the,
gonna thrive as a heel a lot more than he did as a face.
Yeah.
In terms of accolades for himself.
I feel like we're gonna get the like Jey Uso Xavier Woods moment where he finally wins that title.
See, I think they did all this because Big E's gonna come back at some point.
Dude,
So-
what if it's in the Rumble? Like Woods and Kofi are in the ring,
Yeah, I
and
think
now everybody's shitting on him, dude. Even on Raw, Ray's like, "Well, they don't want you changing in the locker room anymore
yeah, I saw that.
because of how y'all did E."
Yeah, I think he's gonna come back. I hope he's able to come back. If not, then
Yeah,
it
same.
is. But if he does, I think you could do a lot with that. So, but yeah, my boy.
Yeah, I think Biggie needs to become one of Bobby's boys if he comes back.
Right.
I mean,
That'd be godly.
the only
He's
other
never going to AEW though. I could never see him there because
Yeah.
WWE's just taking care of him, and he's on the panel for the pre-show too, and the post.
Mhm.
Like he does a lot with them still. So.
Oh yeah, they still take care of him.
Mm-hmm.
And Big E's like such a good. He has no hard feelings. But he's like, look, it was an accident. It
Yeah.
happened, y'all.
Such a good person, but
The only other notable X wrestlers that I could find, there's obviously X Pac.
yeah,
The only other two that are on here that I've ever heard of are Xia Li and Xia Brookside.
I've heard
yeah, and
that.
they're both in TNA right now too.
They're both in TNA. Yup.
Yeah. All right, we're on Y. I'm interested
Listen.
to see this one because
I don't know. Is it supposed to be my turn? Technically,
yeah, it would be your turn. Yeah.
I'm gonna be real. The only other Y wrestler I could think of was Yuka Sakazaki, and I haven't really read it that much, so I got Yoko.
Oh, you put Yokozuna.
I
Okay.
put Yokozuna because the only other ones I could think of are like Yoshitatsu.
The tribal
I'm
chief.
very proud.
Yokozuna.
I'm very proud
Huh?
of the answer I got.
Said the tribal chief Yokozuna from my one in the air.
But yeah, dude, like I'm gonna be real. I didn't watch a lot of Yoko, so there isn't a whole lot I can say. I know he was instrumental. I know the Bret Hart moment where his best friend Hulk Hogan comes up to take his honor and win the title. Aside from that, I just know that Yoko was the big man of his time,
Yeah.
and he had Fuji with him. They were a legendary duo, but Yoko was before my time, so I don't have too much to say aside from I know he was kind of the start of the big notable Samoan at the time.
Which is funny because he's
And,
portrayed as Japanese.
Yeah,
But he's really just Samoan.
he is portrayed. But yeah, so I went Yoko, and if it was someone I had to do today, it'd be Yuka. But I've maybe seen like 3 or 4 Yuka matches.
Mm-hmm.
I like Yuka, but I just don't know enough about her to put her on my list.
Yeah. I didn't pick Yokozuna because I didn't watch him, so I didn't want to put him down. So to stay with people I watched, I put Yuya Uemura because his smaller run.
Think about that.
Yeah,
I originally put Yuka, and then I was like, but I've only watched her a handful of times.
yeah,
I do think the magical girl gimmick is baller, though.
yeah. I liked his run with Joe Hendry in TNA, so I had to put it on there because when they both would turn around and do the thumbs up, it's a tag team and stuff was really cool. So, there's not much to say. I haven't really watched him afterwards, but since I did watch him, I wanted to give a shout out to him because I did like him too. It was a short stint, but
I would have. I've actually watched some Yuya with like G1 and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, that's a good shout. I didn't think about that.
My boy, and he has a classic song with Joe Hendry too. They have their own theme song. Yes, sir. All right, Kuhn, what you got for us?
Oh, I got Y2J, Chris Jericho.
We'll give it to you.
Yes, sir.
I'll give it to you.
That's a deep cut. I got
That's
it.
that's smart.
Yeah, that is actually pretty good.
Because I could think of anybody but Yokozuna, and I was like, wait, Y2J? Chris Jericho? Yes. And it's good that Chris Jericho makes one of the list at least.
I don't know if you know this, but he
Hmm.
beat The Rock and Stone Cold on the same night. I don't know if he's ever said that out loud multiple times
Yeah,
or
he
not.
might
He might have mentioned it once or twice, but just a reminder.
I mean, but Chris Jericho's a baller. I didn't watch him a lot in WWE, but most of my exposure to him is AEW. Funny enough, and he doesn't look bad in AEW. I mean, he's old, so yeah.
He's
People
definitely,
are-
as someone
Yeah,
that
no,
watches
I'm
every
saying
week.
he didn't look bad for a while, and then he started to really look
He's
bad.
the
I was
learning
gonna say
tree.
he's had some bad stints. I actually don't mind the learning tree. I just think he goes just a little bit too far into it.
Yeah, I think his matches with MJF are fun. I like those.
Did
Like
you?
he's definitely had good points in the company, but he's also had some
Yeah, no,
bad
he's
points.
had some bad fucking
Les
matches.
Don't you know what
Champions.
he's doing at the Ring of Honor show this weekend, Coon?
I don't know, fucking feuding
You
with
know
one of
who?
his own fucking faction members
No, he's
again.
feuding with your boy.
Yeah, he is actually.
He's
Yeah,
feuding with Always Ready.
Yeah, he's
ah,
fighting for the
so he's
title.
getting
That's
hell
the
yeah.
main event of the show: Jericho versus Cardona.
Oh yeah, I think Cardona was tweeting about how he wanted to fight Jericho. So that's fun.
Yeah, in the promo, he's like, "Oh, if it isn't Zach, I mean Matt
Yeah.
Cardona." He's like, you know who I am, and if you don't, you better learn real quick, because I'm taking that belt from you."
It's like the
Hell yeah.
only belt he hasn't won yet on the indie scene, bro. Is
Oh,
the
that's good. He's about to be the belt collector, bro. Again.
Yeah. Did you watch when he did the list?
Yeah, did you watch
Um,
the Kevin Owens stuff?
Caleb told me about the list.
You
and
need
I-
to watch
list is
that.
great.
It is one of his
You
best
made the
works.
list.
He's like, yep. Anything anybody did that even slightly ticked him off. You'd be like,
He's like,
"You
you
know
made the
what?
list.
You just made the list."
My
like, that whole feud is so good because they're like best friends for a long time, and then when KO turns on him, it was supposed to be for the Universal title too. I was at the fucking WrestleMania because it was for the United States Championship, and that's the
I
whole
remember-
reason he goes to AEW or leaves WWE, I should say.
I remember being so sad when they announced KO versus Goldberg. I knew
Oh
at the
my-
bottom of my soul, I was like, "They're gonna do it, aren't they?"
Yeah.
And sure enough, Jericho distracts him, spear, jackhammer, and I'm just.
It literally would have been peak ending to the rivalry. Like, we still got the United States title and everything, which is cool, and the turn was really godly, but like, it should have been for the Universal title. That being said, Goldberg versus Brock Lesnar was a god tier
Was really
match.
good.
Surprisingly, who would have thought? But it didn't need the title for that to happen either. So, but yeah, you should definitely watch the list. I saw a clip because I didn't really watch AEW in the beginning, but he says when he's like Les Champions, and he brings out
Yeah,
the
that champion is dope.
yeah, he brings out the pad or something. He's like yelling at the crowd, "This isn't the list. It's like the Legion of Les Champions." I was like, "Damn, he's so good, bro." That's so good.
He's still clever nowadays.
Yeah.
There's just some weeks where I'm like, I don't want to see you for a little bit.
Yeah, I feel like he got put
Dude,
into too
he
much.
got fat there
while.
for about 2 months.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember. I don't know if he's
But,
still like that, but he was a big boy.
It's his one
Nah.
WCW clip that I remember is his other lists when he's naming off all the different
The
ways.
armbar?
Yeah.
Hold 1004.
He's like,
Armbar.
I'll name all these ways that I could beat you. Number 1, armbar.
It was Dean Malenko.
Yeah. You should watch
He's
that
like,
clip
"I'll
too,
list-"
Kuhn. It is it's right up your alley. He's like, I could beat you with 1,000 different
So-
ways. Number
so-
1, armbar.
No, what it was Malenko was called the man of 1004 holds. So Jericho comes out with this giant list and he's like, so I'm gonna name all 1005 holds I can do. And they like go to commercial and cut back and he's like, hold number 624, Dragon Legs.
Yeah. Dragon leg
That's amazing.
suplex, number 6073,
Yup.
armbar.
Yep.
He says armbar like 60 times, bro. It's so funny.
He also used to have this like fat roadie with him named Ralphus.
Yep,
What
Ralphus.
the fuck?
Yeah, it was
Let's
just some
picture a
dude
little
on the road
short,
crew.
fat Mook or Mookie. I said Mook. A little
Dude,
short, fat
Ralphus was
roadhog
amazing.
is my picture.
Yeah, dude, I mean,
Uh,
that's kind of what it is.
I said Mook because like he
He had
called him
like
Mook hog for like.
he had like this white shirt on that said Jericho Personal Security.
Remember the one time he came back after being gone for years, and he like goes to the ring. He's like, "Yeah, yeah." They get out
And
the
he
ring
just
and starts
left.
high fiving everybody. Woo! He grabs the mic. He's like, "Yeah." Yeah, then he gets out the ring, starts high fiving everybody again, going crazy. Like, yeah, yeah, for like fucking 6-7 minutes. And he goes, yeah. And then he just walks out the ring, and I'm like, what the fuck? Yeah, it was so funny.
My favorite Jericho was serial killer suit wearing Jericho,
Oh yeah.
where he completely changed it and he come back and he won the world title.
Mm-hmm.
I actually think that's when he lost it to Swagger, which we can forget about.
Oh hell yeah,
but-
my boy Jack Swagger.
But he like came back wearing suits and he was like cold and calculated.
Mm-hmm.
That
Yeah,
was my favorite Jericho.
the save us gimmick too. It's like, did you
Yeah,
crack the
Save
code?
us.
Oh my god, that was.
It's like save us.
he
Y
looked like
two J.
he looked
Yeah,
like
well,
Ellen DeGeneres with his cut hair. He had like the Karen hair back then too.
I remember Jericho.
Oh my! When they won the undisputed
Yep.
tag. Oh my god. Yeah, that's when Big Show was just joining random tag teams because he joined Show Miz too during
Yep.
that time.
Dude, and they had the moment where Jericho, the year he should have won the Rumble, and
The
they were
2012,
all
I think.
they gave it to Sheamus because they were like, oh, we didn't want our Rumble winner spoiled by the dirt sheets, so we changed it to Sheamus.
Yeah.
And
Goodness.
Jericho had been in from like number 3 or something like that.
It's
He might have
actually
started the match. He might have been number 2.
it's actually
'Cause
crazy.
I think Ziggler was out there because he was the one that retired Jericho, and then Jericho come out, and Ziggler was like all shocked. He was like, "No, I fought. What are you doing here? You're not allowed to be here. I retired you."
Yeah, Chris Jericho did like everything in WWE except win the Rumble, and he should have won in 20. I think it was 2012.
Yup.
Crazy. And look at him now. The learning
Still
tree.
going.
Yeah,
He's with my boy Big Bill.
yeah. They ruined my boy W Morrissey, putting him in that fucking because he had so much momentum. He had so much momentum.
He even
after
had
the time.
momentum when he was with Ricky, man.
Yeah, when that's like it was peak. Like, oh my god, they're making a star, and then they put him with fucking Chris Jericho.
That's how you fucking bury
That's-
someone.
That's the problem nowadays with Jericho is that like it's to the point where like he still has to win some, but he's not putting anyone over because we don't really care.
Yeah, like he didn't need to beat Hook for the championship. And I know he lost it back to him, but by that time
Well,
it
it's
was just
okay.
like, what the hell?
Hook's just losing to legends left and right. He's fixing to lose to another one, so it's okay.
Well, hopefully Y2J loses to our last competitor on the Z's, because my Z is Zack Ryder.
My Z is also Zack Ryder, and that was very
Yes.
obvious.
Well,
Long Island Ice Z.
my Z is actually not Zack Ryder.
Really? Who'd you pick?
It is. My Z is, as you would call a wanka.
I don't know.
It's Zack Sabre Jr.
Oh, yeah, he is a wanker. But he's a talented wanker.
I love Zack, dude. His cocky attitude. Anytime I see that man, I'm just like, this man knows how to fucking wrestle.
When I saw him at Multiverses, man,
He's got just the look, dude. The cocky look with the Cody blonde hair and the jacket.
yeah, he is definitely like he plays the part really, really well, and he's so fucking talented. He was on AEW too,
He's
wasn't
so
he?
good. Yes,
well,
he
well,
fought
obviously.
Orange Cassidy.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's the
And
match I
I want to
remember.
say he finally fought Danielson, but I don't know if it ever actually happened.
I think it did, because
Because
Cassidy
I
was the
remember
first
Danielson
one.
was hurt,
I-
and yeah, and so they ran Orange. They've ran Orange twice, I think.
Let me see. I thought
And
he did.
he did
They definitely, well, they fought before. Oh, it was in New Japan.
okay, so he technically did
I
the New
think, yeah,
Japan match.
I don't think they fought at. Oh no, they fought at Wrestle Dream.
He was also in the Contender Casino Gauntlet that Christian Cage won to get the briefcase.
Yeah, so he was, because I was like, I remember them fighting. It was at Wrestle Dream. That was the same.
So AEW Forbidden Door 2024, Zack Sabre Jr. defeats Orange Cassidy.
Yeah.
Dynamite, he fought Kyle O'Reilly. That's what I was thinking of. And he was in this like crazy tag match. Dante, Kyle, Mark, and Orange Cassidy defeat Roderick
Boy,
Strong,
Dante.
Oh my
the
god, I
Don
remember that
Callis
match.
family, and Zack
Yeah.
Sabre Jr. I was gonna say, I know he did a couple things with the company to like build up.
Yeah, because
But
I remember the Wrestle Dream one, because that's when I think that's when Edge debuted, right? That was that same day.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's just and anytime that man gets a mic, he cracks me up.
Yeah.
Just because he starts just running down the audience,
What's
calling everybody wankers.
what's the name of the faction that he's in?
Oh, he was.
'Cause-
I don't think it exists anymore because he was in Shizuki's fact. He was in Suzuki Goon.
No, so
So I don't know what he does now. Oh, is he? Is he? He's actually he's with the Mighty Don't Nil. He's
Oh.
with TMDK.
Thank you. Yeah, that's what it is. TMDK. Yeah.
Yeah, the Mighty Don't Nil. He's with.
Yeah.
They used to be. I forget what their name was in NXT. It was like something 41 or something. Our boy, Slapjack
Bronson Reed was in this.
was
Mighty
in.
No Neil.
Yeah, he was. Well, they pushed him in New Japan because he straight up beat Okada.
Bad Dude Tito. Oh yeah, I remember those the Nicholas and Haste.
Yeah, Nicholas and Haste. Haste was
Yeah.
fucking Slapjack.
Yo, Loki, for my T, I should have said Tyrus.
Anyway, Zack Ryder.
TM61. That was their
TM61,
name.
Yeah.
Yeah, Zack Ryder, or better known as Matt Cardona, the indie god.
By the
Yo,
time
you
this
talk
video comes
about-
out, will be Ring of Honor World Champion.
Yo, Loki, you
I'm
talk.
still holding out hope that he'll go and enter one of the Royal Rumbles, even if it's just as a one-off.
You talk about guys that got themselves constantly over and should have been pushed better than he was.
And he got
Like
himself
there was a
over.
point where Zack Ryder was just over and he kept making the videos about how WWE was dropping the ball with him.
Yeah, because he got himself over and Vince hated it. You're not
I
allowed
used
to
to
get yourself
watch-
over unless he allows you to.
I used to watch Long Island IZ every week. I thought his like web show was hilarious.
He was kind of like Daniel Bryan before Daniel Bryan got pushed.
I always remember the Raw where like Punk had one world title, Bryan had the other, and he was the US champ.
Yeah, and they were all in the ring together.
I also remember his 1-day IC title reign.
That was a godly
won-
match. That WrestleMania, the Intercontinental ladder match was godly. He wasn't even supposed to win.
Nope, he was replacing an injured Neville, and he
Yeah.
won the belt.
And
Then he dropped it
fucking
to
lost
Miz
to
the
Miz
next
the
night.
next day. Yeah, that was
A
such a
done
good
deal.
match.
That was more about the moment,
Oh yeah,
getting the guy over that was there.
yeah.
And you know,
Look at him now in on the indie scene.
who could ever forget? Roses are red, violets are blue. You may have left me, but I still woo woo woo.
Yeah. Yeah, didn't John Cena also bury him? He took his girl
Yes,
Eve.
he took Ryder's girl.
Yeah, he took Eve, and then Zack Ryder was in the wheelchair, and he pushed him off the
Dude,
stage.
I don't know how he didn't break his ankles on that, bro.
Yeah, that was crazy.
That's like not a protective. You ever seen that fall where Kane pushed him off in the wheelchair?
Oh,
Kane?
it was Kane. It was
Yeah, I've
Kane.
seen
Yeah,
that.
he had like the neck brace on and he lands like knees first.
Yeah, yeah. He's
I
taking some
cringe every
bumps.
time I see that.
He's the reason I watch GCW at
Yeah,
all.
he's
Oh
the reason
yeah,
I watched
Yeah.
GCW too.
His matches at the with Nick
dude.
Hey,
Gage.
I
he
seen.
feuded with one of
It
my
makes
other
me
boys,
mad.
Blake Christian. It was the funniest shit ever
It
because he was
makes
calling
me
him a little
mad
shit.
that AEW fucking pulled him because they don't use him. But we were supposed to get
Get rid of
Cardona
him.
and Starks.
Yeah.
And Ricky did the Mall of America appearance when GCW was there, and that entrance was god tier. And AEW just had to go and fucking run it.
Yeah. Well, I think it was GCW. The GCW
There
owner
was a
ruined
guy
it.
that made comments. If you listen to the comments, he didn't say nothing bad about him.
Mm-hmm.
And then the GCW owner come out and was like, "Well, I've never had issues with their talent appearing on my shows. We've just had Moxley and MVP and stuff last week, so it kind of just feels like AEW's just trying to find a reason
To like not put Ricky
to
Starks up
not let
there.
Ricky go on those
It's
shows."
just so dumb. I don't like that because it's like at some point he's gonna leave the company, and now you're giving your like all these other wrestlers bad reasons to not want to work for you when you do this kind of shit, and
I just
it's holding him hostage.
I think it's one thing if you're using him, but you haven't used him since May.
Yeah, and it's not injured. He's even said he did the thing with the CVV.
Yeah,
Like, I'm
yeah.
available, I can work. Just don't work me. And if it is because he was at WrestleMania, that's the dumbest thing ever. You know how many wrestlers have been talking
Yeah,
about it
There was
and
the
stuff like
story.
that?
There was the story out too about W Morrissey, Big Bill, where he like didn't want to do a feud with Big Bill because he's like, I don't think that would help either one of us.
Yeah.
He was like, what good is me beating you in a feud? It's not gonna help me. It's not gonna help you to just break our tag team up.
They weren't even supposed to be a tag team. They got thrown together. Then they end
did
up
get
winning the
yeah, and
titles.
they made it work.
Yeah, and then you're gonna break it up and try and have them fight each other. Just made no sense. Made no sense.
Yeah. So apparently that's the only thing that I could think of, and who knows what really happened, but
Yeah, I'm sure we'll get whenever he gets released or his contract's up or whatever. I'm sure we'll hear the full story about it. So
I don't know. I love Ricky and I want to see him back on my TV.
yeah,
But point being, Cardona, Pog, got himself hella over.
he's the indie god.
Yeah, dude. And yeah, talk about a guy when he gets released to reinvent himself to the way that he did
He was a
with
belt collector,
the
man.
belt collector, the deathmatch king,
The indie
He-
god, and he dresses up as Indiana Jones. That shit's godly.
the indie taker where he was dressing up like Undertaker.
Yeah, that was fucking awesome too.
His work in TNA where he got back with Kurt Hawkins.
His back and forth on
Or
Twitter with all the
my
people he's
bad, your
feuding
boy
with, the
Brian
godly.
Myers.
Yeah, Brian Myers.
yeah.
I remember one of the first Joe Henry skits was him like popping out of a freezer with Myers and Cardona there.
He
That
was
man's still a
also
god, dude. I love it when I hear "Always Ready."
Yep.
he was our digital media champion.
Yes, sir. The most prestigious one.
I remember he appeared on an episode of Collision
Yeah,
back
that
when
a
Edge
long
was the
time ago.
champion.
Yeah,
And he fought Edge, and that was just a cool moment, seeming that he started as an Edge cosplayer.
yeah. Oh yeah, back in WWE. That's right. The Edge
So
heads.
he even said he was like that was a. I'm pretty sure he had even come out and said he was like, no, he's like that was a important match for me. Like that was a really cool moment that I was honored to get to do.
I'm actually shocked that Tony Khan hasn't signed him. I don't know if it's because Matt Cardona wants to go do other stuff still or whatnot. But
Like, I was gonna say because he did the
Yeah.
thing with Cody too, where he come in and like teamed with Dustin and
yeah,
I don't
I'm
remember.
happy
it was
he's
like
not really signed to a company because he's
it
kind
was
of
like-
able to just go do what he wants.
it was like a hodgepodge team against like Dark Order. And I was like, well, surely Dark Order wins. Nope, the Faces won.
Let's not
I
forget.
personally think Matt Cardona is gonna cap
I
off
still
his year, like his
well,
run,
see,
going back
I
to WWE
still
for a year.
part of me still thinks that man's ending back up in WWE
Yeah,
someday.
that's what I'm
Like,
saying. I think he's capping off his indie run by going to WWE at the end of it.
I mean,
Well,
his wife's there.
he's expressed it so
Like,
many times, but they just haven't done anything with
I
him.
think I think that's because he's been doing his indie thing though.
he's
Yeah,
a
but
name that gets
he's
tossed up.
I think he's building it.
but he's
You know,
expressed, hey, I'll go back to WWE. He's like been saying for the last year, but they just haven't done anything.
that we
He's
know of. But
he's
for all we
also
know,
he's
they
a
could
name
reach
that
out and he could just be like, "Yo, let's
he's
build
a
this
name
up
that gets
before
tossed
it's
around
done."
for Rumble every year.
Every year.
Mm-hmm.
Let's not forget, he's also a former WWE Women's Tag Team Champion too.
Yeah.
And he took that belt. That's so funny. And he was the ECW champion too, right? He got the old belt when he was GCW champion. He got the old ECW one out.
Oh,
Yeah.
dude, yeah, when he took Chelsea's belt, that was so funny. Or he like bought his own.
Yeah.
But he made it. He acted like it was hers. He was like, "Well, I'm half of the women's
Yeah,
champion."
champion.
Did
Not
y'all
many
see
men can say that.
Did y'all see that? On Saturday, Chelsea wore the like Zack Ryder inspired
Yeah.
one-legged attire.
Yeah. She had the hat too with all her faces on it.
Did
I
you
really liked
did
it.
you ever see his one-legged attire, Kuhn?
Maybe
They were literally trunks that just had one leg.
I would have to see them. Remember?
Yeah.
Uh,
Let me look.
I might be able to find a picture for you.
I can definitely find it.
Well, while you guys do that, I'm gonna end this because we
Like, what?
did it. We made it through the alphabet A through
Yep,
Z.
there it is.
Yeah.
That's godly.
There was some really hard letters because there's doubles that we wanted to put and had to do some shout outs, and then there's other ones where it's like, man, we really gotta come out.
I just tried to shout out the letters that only had like one person, one notable. Tried to give them a little bit of love to be like, hey, there's at least a couple names here.
Yeah, I mean, there's hard ones because like no Seth Rollins on our list is kind of crazy, but
I feel like Corday would have had Seth.
yeah, I think Corday would have had Seth for sure. That's his boy.
Well,
Like it was
yeah, they can put him up there.
and R's. There was a lot of R's on there.
Dude, R is like one of the most iconic ones. That was when I was.
If I didn't have the Ricochet story, I would have probably also been a Randall Keith guy.
Yes, sir. The Macho Man Randy Savage too. Didn't have him on the list. And there's a lot. So, that being said, thank you guys for watching. If you haven't followed the Mixed Raccoon yet, make sure you do so. Same with KaiParasite. Follow me as well. Subscribe to all the channels. I want to do more wrestling stuff. Maybe stuff that won't take 3 hours per video or 6 months to finish.
Yeah, not like a whole year.
But I definitely want to do more stuff. So make sure you tune into the channel. And that's it for this. Thank you guys so much.